I'm almost ready, guys. I'm trying to eat a calzone. Ah, I finished the food. Okay. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another stream. My name, of course, is Hexblade, your head guildmaster and chief barista. And today is, of course, Finding Out Friday. Congratulations on getting through another week, whether it be easy breezy or the worst pain you've ever experienced in your life. Mine was probably the latter. Your reward is watching videos with me and hanging out and being chill and learning things. And I sincerely hope maybe you learned something. That was the point of this entire thing, is I sincerely hope you learned something. What we got on deck today? Let me see here. Oh, in all caps, playing God, cups. Yes, those cups. Legal dubiousness. There's 2 of those. Fake bus stops and more. So we got a lot of stuff to go through. So let's get started with this playlist. This one's about Bluetooth. It's very short, but let's go. I don't mean to, like, rush or anything, of course. I'm not intending to. But, you know. Always good. This one's a short one, so let's just start with the short boy.
Is literally...
It's about Bluetooth. How does Bluetooth even exist? Bluetooth is wild as a tech, too. Also, we're telling it to do things that I really don't expect Bluetooth to do, and everybody's doing it, and I feel bad for whoever made that protocol. For real.
Bluetooth is literally indistinguishable from magic. Give an iPhone 7 and some AirPods to a Victorian child and watch them get burned at the stake just for holding that stuff. Like, we're for real just here on a big rock with sticks and water and made Bluetooth from that. What the
We made the sticks and rocks. No, wait, no, we didn't. We didn't make the sticks and rocks. We can make sticks and rocks. We made rocks talk to each other with the power of electricity, figured out how to make them say things, and now you're watching me on your phone. Like, when you all in the span of a time period, that's about maybe 1.5 lifetimes. Like, what? You know? Like, 2 generations ago, none of this existed. And then, like, this now exists. Hello, speaking of things that just now exists.
Speaking of rocks. Also, your blur is still on, and I don't know if I'm in the thing. I don't see myself yet.
You're in the thing. 1, you're in the thing. 2, it's... I really need to figure out... I really need to do, like, the thing where it's like, I should probably, like... I should really, like, do stream cleanup at the end of a stream instead of just closing OBS.
I mean, you could also create a scene just for FF14 with the chat filter.
But it's a different... But that's an entire scene for 1 filter.
I mean, I'm just saying. That's just an option.
Okay, fine.
I have a scene just for StarCraft 2. Because I have overlays that pop up when I beat my matches, and it's just a browser source.
Oh, huh. Smarter than me. I haven't updated this layout in forever.
I also play StarCraft 2 regularly enough to justify that effort.
I thought you were also going to actually correct me about me calling you smart.
Why would I correct you about something you say that's right?
All right.
Flip is going on here? Well, it's actually quite simple. No, it's not. That was a lie. This stuff is whack. To begin, your phone and earbuds communicate with light. Not this light, not this light either. It's like a freaky sort of light. On the electromagnetic spectrum, the human eye can see 400 to 600 nanometers. Zoom out.
It's such a weird thing to say. Like, he's right. It's just really weird to say radio waves are light.
I mean, they're electromagnetic waves. They're not light in the traditional sense.
Yeah, it's just like it's weird to call it light.
And you'll notice the human eye is actually blind. The light that
like
Bluetooth
ultraviolet
uses is over
and
here,
infrared waves act closer to visible light than radio waves or microwaves do.
Not only is this light invisible to the human eye, but the waves are so long that it
Also,
can pass
why
through
are
walls
microwaves
like
not on here? Where are the microwaves? Microwaves are part of the EM spectrum.
Wouldn't microwaves be
they'd be in between IR and radio waves. The only thing I can think of is that microwaves are not a naturally occurring part of the EM spectrum.
I would hope not. I would hope not. If they were, we would be this planet would be a very more dangerous place to live on if it weren't for the ionosphere.
But gamma rays are a huge part of the EM spectrum that's naturally generated. And those are hazardous.
No, what I'm saying is, can you imagine a material or mineral that naturally generates microwaves? That'd be fucking horrifying.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily common. Alma, as horrifying as that is, we have things that naturally emit gamma and X-rays, and that's even worse.
More visual. Okay, visually worse. Yes, I know radiation is bad.
The microwave one, even if it's like hypothetically as bad as like sticking yourself in a giant microwave like MGS4, at least we know, okay, there's the hot area. Don't go to the hot area versus, man, people who live here just die. I guess this place is cursed. And then
hey, do you want some sparkly fairy dust? Oh, God. Hey, you guys want this slightly warm rock I found? Ah, shit.
Yeah.
4 millimeters. Not only is this light invisible to the human eye, but the waves are so long that it can pass through walls like how visible light passes through glass. Cool.
Yeah.
But how does light allow me to listen to Shakira? Ones and zeros. Say 121 millimeters is purple and 124 millimeters is green. If your phone wants to send a 1 to your earbuds, your antenna turns purple. The antenna on the earbuds sees this and tells the microchip in the earbuds, hey, it's purple. And then the microchip writes down a 1.
Yeah,
if the phone wants to send a 0, the antenna turns green and the same thing happens. This happens about 1 million times a second.
That's green.
Okay, so now we know how to communicate, but this brings up about 1 million problems. For example, if my bro is next to me listening to Taylor Swift while I'm hearkening to the songs of Shakira like a real man, how does my earbuds know to ignore the Taylor Swift and only play Shakira? Well, this problem has a couple of solutions. First of all, it's not actually just purple and green. There are 79 separate sections or channels within the range of purple and green. Each channel has its own specific wavelength for 1 and 0. So while you might be in channel 37, your bro could be in channel 73. But
wait, doesn't that mean that there's a max of 78 possible fuck-ups or something? Actually, wait, no. I know that there's an answer. I just realized I made an answer to it in my head. Fuck.
You don't even need to worry about that. I had 2 different microwaves from 2 different companies at my old office. And both of them, if anyone turned them on, even for a little bit, your Bluetooth connection would almost immediately be dropped regardless of what phone or headphones that you were using.
That's not a... If you scream into a room loud enough, I'm pretty sure you'll disrupt every single conversation irregardless of you interacting in the conversation.
My point is that even if there was like... the 2.4 gigahertz is just...
bad.
It being unlicensed has caused problems, and that's why 5 gigahertz exists, and now 5 gigahertz is having problems.
Wireless technology is just one big party, and everyone's screaming at each other over each other.
Unlicensed spectrum was a mistake. Changed my mind.
158 different phones and earbuds playing music in the same place, 2 for each channel. First of all, the lag would be absolutely scandalous. But still, your earbuds would limp along playing the one and only Shakira and no one else's garbage. How? Well, this is when we finally talk about how your headphones
MAC
and phones
addresses?
pair. Think of your earbuds as being a lock. When you click the pair button on said earbuds, it actively sends out a key through its antenna. Then, in your phone settings, you can see all the keys being sent out, and your phone can say, key number 37948. I choose you. What then happens is at the beginning of each package of ones and zeros, your earbuds change its lock. And using
they're
the old
encrypted?
key, it gives a new key to your phone. So
an
your
extent.
earbuds technically
to an
can hear your
extent.
bro's Taylor Swift playing if it's in the same channel, but since it doesn't have the correct key, it not only ignores it completely, but it actually has no idea how to read it because the key is an encryption for the rest of the message. Now another question arises.
The PGP
Couldn't
key,
someone
maybe.
just intercept and then
He
decrypt
may have just
all
used a
what's
stock
being
photo for that.
transmitted
Yeah, I
from
know.
your phone and headphones? Well, some of the
Yes.
engineers probably watched Little Einsteins as a kid because there's a genius solution to this problem. Your phone and earbuds don't just stay in one channel. They do something called frequency hopping. They hop around from channel to channel and do this about
Whee!
1,600 times every second. So an eavesdropper might be able to listen in for a teeny fraction of a second, but then you change channels and they would have no way of knowing what channel you went to. But then how does both your phone and earbuds know what channel to go to? Well, when your phone initially connects, and
Packets are
says,
good,
key
aren't
number
they?
37948, I choose
Packets are
you.
so
Within
great.
that message, it picks out a sequence and sends that information
Hey,
encrypted over
here,
to
do
your
this.
headphones before any sound is even playing. This way, your phone and headphones are the only things that know what channel they're going to go to next. So yeah, not too complicated. Now you should be able to take sticks, rocks, and water and create some Bluetooth. You're welcome. That's going to cost you 1 subscribe, and let me just flip this bad boy around. Tips in the form of likes are appreciated.
Ah, shit, I have to tip. I was like,
Also,
shit, I got a
you know
tip.
what, guess what company kind of invented Bluetooth?
Sony. What?
Guess what company invented Bluetooth?
Sony.
Intel.
Fucking hell.
It's also a proprietary technology.
What?
You didn't know that?
No.
So yeah, it's like DVDs.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, not anyone could just make a Bluetooth device. I believe it's not super strict. Yeah,
Ew.
yeah,
I didn't
and
know it got this
do you
bad.
know what like the nerdy networking term is for like what the type of network a Bluetooth is? It's a PAN, a personal area network.
Right.
All right, Bluetooth is managed by the Bluetooth Special Interest Group, which has over 35,000 members.
I'd rather talk about the Unicode Consortium, and I know way too much about the Unicode Consortium.
It's amazing that Unicode exists per Tom Scott video.
It is. It's still baffling. And also, it very much... Like, I had to explain on Twitter yesterday of why there aren't more pride flag emojis.
Because you run out of Unicode shit eventually.
Yes. And also because the Unicode flags are constructed differently than country flags. Because country flags are easier to implement. Do you know how they're formed?
No.
Do you know
I
those?
always assumed it was just a code that everyone kind of agreed represents this symbol, and that symbol is encoded by the whatever OS manufacturer.
So no. The display of the symbol interpretation is up to the developer because that's basically a font.
Yeah.
How the countries are, it's basically you have a little box that says a regional indicator, and then two characters. When put together, make the name of the country. Like, you know how the UK's country code is GB, China is CN, Korea, like South Korea is KR, Japan is JP, America is US. Those guys, that is actually an ISO standard. Those are for all those countries. So, and how the pride flags work, the two pride flags is separate because it's basically a hodgepodge of Unicode's function to join things without using a character as a character.
It's an interesting decision for an implementation.
Well, yeah. So the rainbow pride flag is actually a white flag, a zero width character that is basically labeled as a joiner, and then the rainbow emoji. Same goes with the trans flag. It is a white flag, a zero width character about for joining, and then the transgender, like
That's
the gender symbol.
really seems like a really inefficient and bad way to do that, but I'm guessing it's kind of too late at this
well, that's
point.
the thing. That's the thing. It is, and the problem is one, there are too many flags for the Unicode Consortium has way too many things to actually care about in comparison to putting a pride flag on a thing. Two, those flags, along with any other flags, honestly, in the future, change too fast for the consortium to use it.
Also, there's just too many pride flags. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to say it.
That's also the case because there's too many pride flags, and those flags change fast. Very fast, because they're not like a governmental body about the flags, you know?
I mean, I feel like no one's really gone back and changed a ton of flags. They just made new ones.
Yeah, but the problem is now we have the old ones. Like the old, hold on. Can someone put up a rainbow flag in the chat?
No, I know we have the gay pride flag, which is the rainbow one.
We have like 3 pride flags over the course of
for in the last loving men gay, which is the mint looking one.
Yeah, see, so for me, Twitch has this one, doesn't have the pink and brown as the pink and brown as the original, and then the new one, the pride, like the progress flag, does not. Like that was only so recent. Like, imagine being the consortium having to change that, and also trying to push that to fucking every device that supports the latest Unicode.
Don't change it. Just make a new one, and ideally make a new standard for how you create pride flags. That's not. A little more consistent. Yeah,
but now you have to have you have to have those supported by everybody, and also not to mention flags are not used a lot.
They could always just not implement.
No. Any flags, country flags are not used very often. The only flag that's actually used often is the actual pride flag, but that's literally but that's an outlier.
Right, and my point is more Unicode, aside from its technical limits, it's functionally arbitrary what represents what, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone just agrees these characters represent this symbol, and your OS or web browser or whatever will replace whatever those characters are with this text because they know what that means.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I would say just come up with a new, easier arbitrary system that isn't mishmatching a bunch of basically sprites together in order to create an image, and instead have something that's like not a mishmash, and everyone just make a new emoji because they're going to do it anyway.
I mean, that is true, but we're a point that supersedes this is literally the Unicode Consortium has more important things to do than this.
Yeah, we're now finally getting a shaking and nodding head emoji in the new iOS update coming out, and we're also getting a phoenix. What else are we getting? Hold on, let me pull this up.
Oh, no, we're not. Hold on.
No, you don't have to pull this up. I'm reading it for my own sake.
No, as in the latest Unicode, like the latest Unicode.
No, I know it's further ahead than that. I'm just saying this is like, if it's coming to iOS, it's probably coming to everything pretty soon if it hasn't already.
No, what I'm saying is I'm not talking about emojis.
I know you're not just talking about emojis. I'm just saying that as a funny side-away example.
But the thing is, like, the only reason why emojis exist is because because literally Japanese phone companies thought it'd be cool to make fucking,
here we are. This is what we're getting in
funny
in
pictures
iOS,
to each other.
In iOS 17.4, we are getting a shaking head emoji, a nodding emoji, a phoenix emoji, a lime, a mushroom, and a breaking chains emoji.
Anyway,
originally they had a whole lime and then they made it a slice, and then they had a really goofy looking phoenix emoji in the beta.
Anyway, they added a bunch of new languages into Unicode.
Yes, that is very much more important.
That's more important, significantly. Which is why I'm like, they need to focus on this and not care about the fucking
Yeah, pride stuff's a minority.
The pride stuff. Also, like, where are you? Okay, so where are you in an environment where you can just do something else, like share a picture or a GIF? Like, why is the emoji? Like, why is putting it in Unicode being so important? You can just.
I can tell you why.
You can just post a GIF.
Yeah, but that's less efficient.
Yeah, but you have it instead of.
So, like, okay, think about it like this. What is more efficient? Having a bit of text that you can send to a user and it be automatically replaced by an image that's stored in the operating system, or sending an entire image file over the internet and potentially storing that on a server as well?
I meant in terms of effort.
Sure, in terms of effort, but there's a ton of stuff we do because it's more efficient and not necessarily easier. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Oh yeah, it's the cup one. Yeah,
My Stanley.
How much? So pause real quick. How much do you know about these?
I know I've seen them twice, and they fill me with anger. That's
in
really
what context? Because I was at a New Year's thing
which
with
was oh my god, you spent that much fucking money on a cup?
Oh, you're gonna see big money here.
I'm scared.
And in
anyway,
other videos too.
I'm scared. Anyway, I wanted to do an intro for this is because I told Brandon here earlier, or like I watch drama videos and stuff because I want to learn in commentator channels because I want to learn what the normies care about. And they replied with this, and this is what normies care about, and it hurts. So
it's here. My Stanley Times Clockwork Orange mashup cup. Combining the dystopic horror of Stanley Kubrick's unique vision of modern life with the drinkability of the Quencher 2.0 with Flow State. I cannot believe it. It is part of the Stanley Times Stanley Kubrick series. That's not out yet, but I do have a real one. And if you haven't noticed, these water bottles have taken over the world.
Mayhem at Target, reminiscent of Black Friday.
We spent the night at Target for the new Stanley Starbucks cup.
To get their hands on the limited edition Valentine's Day Stanley Cup.
This line, guys, are we okay? No.
But what is
Are we okay?
going on here? I've been researching the Stanley Cup, and I have found the answers that I think nobody else is really talking about. It took me to Post Malone, the Colonel himself, and Gilded Age economists, but most importantly, it shows us the outcome of a new business experiment.
Yeah, Chad also had a video. Everybody has had a video about this.
I want what? I want my own army. I want my own planet.
Here is William Stanley's patent for a heat-insulated receptacle, a genuinely innovative product due to its vacuum-sealed inner chamber. William Stanley's other inventions were stuff like this, induction coils. But the water bottle, it took off. It became a staple of water bottles,
the thing that
famous
has the
primarily
microphone
for durability. No one can break it. The hit bottles that you're seeing today are different versions of the Quencher.
Tough words for somebody in railroad range.
More than 10x revenue in just 4 years. It's a variety like this one, particularly the Galentine's version that you've seen taking down Target shelves.
Have you ever seen these Stanley Cups?
Galentine's Day collection is already sold out.
Prices vary a lot, but I found Stanley's for resale for $240.
I can
Let's
buy
go
a
over
3DS
here
with
and I will
that
tell you
money.
the functional stuff about it.
I want to know what it does.
Take out the straw, make it like a normal water bottle.
Cool.
One of the important details is it's made of a solid material which allows it to hold liquid. I think that's crucial.
Oh, it's a screw top?
That's all I've got for you. I don't know. Okay, so why does this happen? I'll get you up to speed on the kind of official story before I tell you the real reason this has happened, the one that relates to like a big business social experiment.
This woman's car caught fire, and incredibly, a cup inside not only survived, but kept her drink cold.
Reason 1, viral moments. A woman's car blew up.
Fire yesterday.
That straw melted though.
Stanley marketing
No,
head
that's
Terrence
silicon.
Riley replaced it.
Well, we're gonna send you some Stanleys.
That's a silicon straw.
one
It
more
could have
thing.
probably
We've never done this before.
You mean
and we'll probably
silicone?
never do it again. But
plasticized.
we'd love to replace your.
That's what I was
vehicle.
trying to say.
That doesn't blow my mind, but remember,
Is
Terrence
silicon a
Riley, he will
thermoplastic?
come up later. Reason number 2.
Silicone
an
is
influencer
plastic.
blog
It's
named
a polymer.
No,
Guys
no,
Love
thermoplastic.
Stanley's Stanley bought into the phenomenon, and boom.
Thermoplastic means that it's moldable when it's hot.
I'm sure the buy guide is great
so.
and was very influential, but influencers are not that influential. Except for me. Please give me $30 million to sell almost anything, and I will accept.
Please.
Reason number 3.
Same,
this
honestly,
is the point
please.
in the media stories where they're kind of like, social media, yada, yada, yada. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Do you buy that any of these things generated $600 million in revenue? Here's what I buy. Thorstein Veblen is a philosopher turned economist at the end of the Gilded Age. His big book was
He damn looks like he's from the Gilded Age.
Class. A new class had risen up thanks to industrialization. One that wasn't royalty, but also not really just workers, a leisure class.
I want that
You
old
know, the
vacuum bottle. It
doctors,
looks
the factory
really cool,
owners,
actually.
the accountants. They had new modes of behavior, including buying stuff. Veblen is most notable for coining the phrase conspicuous consumption. I love this one example he's got. It seems really fitting. He says, okay, imagine 2 similar spoons. A wrought silver spoon of a commercial value of some $10 to $20 is not ordinarily more serviceable in the first sense of the word than a machine-made spoon of the same material. He's saying a crappy spoon works just as well as a fancy one, but the hand-wrought spoon gratifies our taste, our sense of the beautiful.
Isn't it weird now that this could be you could make the argument that the opposite is now true still?
You could have a PC with no RGB or a PC with all the RGB. They're just as good.
No, I meant the people would want to get the other simpler spoon because
The idea of
the detailed wrought stuff is overused already.
Well, no, the idea is basically in his example, he's saying like,
I know.
Okay. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that now you can make the argument. Nowadays, you can make the argument for the opposite being true.
The hand
I don't know. I feel like
gratifies our
No, as in the
taste.
simpler spoon being more expensive than the fancy spoon.
I think it's more the idea like not of complexity of design, but just the idea of like this is more expensive and it's handcrafted and artisanal versus it's made in a fucking factory.
Our sense of the beautiful. Spoons, water bottles, pretty much the same thing is going on here. But I'm actually less interested in Veblen's ideas than in the timing of them. That's partly because he was also into weird phrenology stuff.
All right, hold up. He was into phrenology. Let's find out how problematic this phrase is.
Extremely, I'm sure. I've never even heard the word brachiocephalic.
Brachycephalic? That's just a word by itself. What is this? Oh.
What's it mean?
You
can send it to me if you're too embarrassed to say.
No. Skulls like those. Oh, it's basically a squashed neck.
Oh, okay. Anyway, moving on.
For like the first example I found was brachiocephalic dogs, and an example are like
a pug,
like pugs and boxers, where like their snout is like
deformed
in the way that it's like squished together in comparison to other dogs. So I'm not sure why this is related.
He's probably referring to humans.
No, I mean, of the brachiocephalic brunette, I'm like, what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Phrenology was considered progressive at the time, as messed up as that sounds.
Phrenology still
fucked consumption.
Brachiocephalic
wasn't in
kezu?
it until 1899.
Kezu doesn't count.
Class came about because of
Kezu
the
has a
Industrial Revolution.
hole.
Royalty had been showing off for a very long time. That was nothing new.
Ah, Louis.
And you long had crazes like the Dutch tulip craze, in which people went nuts for tulip bulbs. But that was primarily a speculative investment.
Oh no.
Not a
Yeah, there we go.
It was closer to an NFT. And along with conspicuous consumption, there's one other big piece.
You got that
brings
stendo.
us
The stendo
to
doesn't
what we have
count,
today.
Good chicken.
This is Colonel Harlan Sanders, the Colonel of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
He lived to be
and
90.
These are the 2020
Mr.
Crocs
KFC
based off his
himself.
fried chicken. While
KFC
sipping on
Crocs.
this story, I spent some time in the archives
Good for
of
him.
Footwear News, and it tells a pretty incredible
God.
story about Crocs. In 2014, Crocs has had it tough. Just a few years later, it was
Barney
collaboration
Crocs.
after collaboration.
Ayo, hold up, what?
It's a pretty incredible
Wait, hold
story
the fuck
about
up.
Crocs. In 2014, Crocs has had it tough. Just a few years later, it was collaboration.
Ayo, this looks good.
Hello Kitty Croc.
The colorway's good, okay?
That's not even the most expensive one you're gonna see here.
Crocs in Museum of... I can't read that.
Yeah, I can't tell what that is. Anyway,
Either way, different fabric. Looks nice.
it's not made out of
Collaboration.
as much
The marketing
plastic.
of Crocs from
I do like
2013
that
to
it-
2020
it feels
was led
good
by
as
an
being made from
executive named
plastic.
Terrence Riley.
Gee, I wonder what this is. I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
This is not... Yeah, that logo looks suspicious.
Do you
Yeah.
remember him from earlier?
Hey Danielle, my name is Terrence Riley. I'm the president of Stanley.
He had come from Foot Action and seen firsthand the rise of sneaker drop culture.
Ah,
That's
fuck.
where limited edition sneakers are released to ardent fans and then quickly taken off the market. Veblen would have been fascinated by it,
Sneakerheads.
but manufacturing and media at the time made artificial scarcity harder to generate than it is today. Often these drops were tracked online or in store, removing the need for big advertising campaigns.
Is this official?
Riley took that drop
Yeah.
collaborative culture to Crocs.
I didn't know
which
that they were like an
kinda makes
official
sense
thing.
because
I thought
they're
they just made like a
shoes, but it was
press
also a
release
bit
and
of a
said,
risk
hey,
because they're
get fucking ready,
Crocs.
and then go
He
for
signed
it.
stars like Post Malone, but also many others. Crocs, once maligned, started showing up on sneaker tracking sites like StockX.
Sorry,
Look at
hold on.
that
Hold on.
price.
I wanted
Look
to
at-
see what the... I wanted to see what the first comment was about Lil Nas X, and of course. I'm like, of course, fucking of course.
Anyway,
Good for Lil Nas, but also, like, come on, man.
what is that shirt? It looks like it got bedazzled.
It looks like it's not a shirt. It looks like a template for the shirt, and they didn't put the wool in yet.
The texture didn't load properly. Anyway. Also, fuck Instagram posts. I hate the idea of I gotta go into the bio to fucking see the post. I'm like, fuck off.
Also, Lil Nas, what the fuck are these beads? What are you like? Are you like 3? Did you have a niece do that for you?
I don't know. Fashion is beyond me. Some of his stuff is like really sick, and some of it I'm like, man, I
That
can't fuck
earring
with this, I'm
is
sorry.
literally a nut, like a screw nut.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What the fuck?
Once
Anyway,
maligned,
look at the
started showing up on
sneaker price.
tracking sites like StockX.
300? Why?
Crocs, once
No,
maligned,
no,
started
that's
showing
not
up on
300.
sneaker
Buy
track-
now.
No.
That's the bid price versus buy it now for $4,000.
Okay, hear me out though. This is a bidding site. Of course
Yes.
they do that. Also, the last
Sure.
sale was $300. No
Which
fucker
is-
is gonna do that.
Which is still insane.
Oh, I just realized. The last sale went to 650. All right.
Yeah, 'cause
tracking
people don't
sites
want them
like
anymore.
StockX. Honestly, I felt a little pretentious writing Thorsten Veblen into this, but you need some pretty advanced theory to explain Balenciaga.
This is the croc that I was thinking about. The Balenciaga croc.
It's goth and industrial, and it looks like you could have made this out of a regular black croc, some bolts from the hardware store, and a tire.
Yeah, but that doesn't get you that Balenciaga logo though.
Where's the Balenciaga logo? Oh, it's only fucking here on the front.
No,
and the
yeah,
back? That's bad.
it's on the parts.
Macho, yo, my man, how's it going? Thank you for bringing your friends along. My name, of course, is Alma Hexblade, head Guildmaster Chief Barista. Definitely not a jabroni, if anyone asks. I am not.
Also, shout out to Vince McMahon getting fired.
Shout out to Vince McMahon getting fired or retiring. Let's go.
Shout out to fucking
fuck him.
Shout out to fuck, I don't know what his new name is now. Great Black Otaku for coming to fucking Reality of Wrestling again at some point.
Love you, Brennan Williams.
I have a photo with him. Did I show you that?
I did not know that. Did you know there was a VTuber at a point?
Yeah, he still kind of does. I don't think he has time for it anymore.
Only took him to get to retire for the second time. The first time was
no, I think he just retired from WWE, but not like board of directors. Like he's just not CEO or whatever.
Oh, did you not see the post? Hold on.
No, you showed me the post I saw.
Yeah, so he's just fucking out.
Previously he resigned from CEO, but he was still like on the board or something. Now he's gone. Yeah, I saw it. You sent me, dummy.
Yeah, he's out of the. He resigned from the whole holdings company.
I know. I just said that. I said previously he had resigned as CEO. Now he's resigned completely from everything.
I mean, he is out of the loop too. Also, it's absolutely nuts that the WWE did that whole stink this week about being on exclusive to Netflix for our international distribution, and then this shit happens. And I'm like, dude.
Well, to be fair, I've heard that like the WWE, I don't know if it's still that way, but like 5+ years ago, the WWE app was like, oh, you got to use a VPN to use this if you're not in the United States.
Oh yeah, no, it was bad. My brother sent me the most hilarious. You got to send it to me, man. What did it say?
Anyway, the Nico Nico Ni is back, and
the Nico Nico Ni is back. I need art of me doing the Nico Nico Ni on somebody.
Do it on me, please.
He said, man, if they just waited a few hours, they could have shaved $2 billion off that deal.
Crocs. In hindsight,
thank you for knowing Mama Nile.
One of his great experiment. Could he take sneaker culture and make it work for Crocs? Stage 2, could he take Crocs culture and make it work for water bottles? Stanley started collaborating with
what the fuck are you?
Just like Crocs did with Post Malone.
He's a country musician.
The colorway's nice though. Like brand irrelevant. The colorway is nice though.
Albeit influencers with different styles.
We teamed up with Stanley again, y'all. We got the Stanley Quencher right here. This one is called Country Gold. Ooh,
oh God, why is it packaged in the same way that like wine bottles are?
And on the bottom,
because it's limited edition.
LW, right there. I'm so excited. Country Gold.
Oh shoot.
They harnessed artificial scarcity through super limited drops. That is what's driving the madness in Target. It doesn't hurt that Stanley is owned by a company that specializes in logistics. And in 2024, you don't need a Nike app or a StockX account to stay up on new drops if you have algorithmically tuned TikTok and Instagram.
Was that someone making a dunk on it by sipping out of a trash can?
New drop.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
How y'all be looking with them Stanley cups? Fuck's sake, basic
if you have
normies,
algorithmically tuned TikTok and Instagram.
I mean, to be fair, I also got suckered.
It's not Beanie Babies is closer to NFTs. This is
This is the latest.
This is definitely more.
Yeah. No, the
Air
thing
Force
with
Ones.
The thing
Supreme.
the thing with Beanie Babies is that they have functionally no value, but they were worth a lot.
Yeah,
right.
Like, I mean, these also functionally have no value. It's literally artificial scarcity.
Well, okay, no. Well, no, they do have a function. They are a cup. They are a good. They are a good cup.
Beanie Babies have a function. Like, not a lot of things like this don't have a function.
Oh yeah. Also, they weren't advertised as something that you could use for speculative marketing.
But the company knew that they were being used that way and absolutely took advantage of it after the fact. Whereas this is very much sneaker drop culture, where it's like, we're going to fucking sell it in a limited run, artificial scarcity, so we can elevate the value and the demand of the brand and sell way more than we otherwise would. Nintendo did the same thing with the fucking NES Classic, and I, like a sucker I am, bought one.
I bought one. Now I just have an emulator. Now it's cool.
I also saw a separate content creator brought bring this up in the context of something called object fetishization, which I thought was really interesting, but we probably don't have time for it either.
I fetishize my keyboard, yeah.
Well, more in the context of like the same way people fetishize gold. Like, you know what I mean?
We're not gonna watch the 40-minute Folding Ideas Gold video.
We're not.
The guy who made them absolutely make the term retire as is in that context for it. Also, I only drink my Panera caffeinated tea out of my Stanley Cup. True.
I thought it was lemonade.
Oh yeah, no, it is caffeinated lemonade. My bad.
Also, isn't tea already caffeinated unless it's like lemon tea or some shit?
Yes, unless it's herbal.
Yeah.
2-for-1 special. It's the Stanley Tucci. Okay, I made that up, but Tucci, you should give them a call. Okay, so why tell this story at all? I mean, I found it funny, of course. I'm human. But I also started to get incensed the more that I learned that this was being sold as a generic influencer story, when in reality, it is this crazy experiment of drop culture that worked.
Some kind of tough thermos bump.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that Hydro Flask did not manage to do this.
Human desires that go.
I mean, no one would think to do this for a cup until someone did.
But Hydro Flask culture was technology.
Like a thing. Thorsten Veblen diagnosed
it was, but it was very much
because the
trendy
industrial
new
age
water bottle,
a new leisure class.
Like Yetis.
Today, water bottles are in the news.
Don't fucking say that when I have a Yeti right next to me.
I also have a Yeti somewhere.
With that
you have a Yeti from work.
I love how technology breakthroughs put these literally ancient human desires in a blender, and then I use a built-in straw to sip them.
Drop culture is hard, man. As somebody,
hey,
like,
what's up? That's it for this one.
I've participated in it multiple
really
times.
Obsessed with these water bottles for a week.
I went to the Amazon truck and bought my fucking NES Classic instead of letting scalpers deceive me. But I regret buying it because I never used it because the controllers were too short.
And try to figure out
you can buy an
what really happened, what the kind of misunderstood story
I also don't like NES games that much.
You could make it emulate other stuff, I think. Some of it.
You can. I'm just like, the SNES one was actually good. I love the SNES one, and I wish I could buy another one and give it to my half brother because he needs like, I want to get him a video game console someday when he's older, but like, I want it to be like something simple that doesn't need to be connected to the internet.
Oh, we're going to talk about Nintendo later on. Cool. Next video though is about German bus stops. Why Germany has 11 fake bus stops.
Is this the one for the dementia patients?
No, the dementia patients one I think is in a different country in Europe.
Okay. For those that don't know, I know there's a place that they have fake bus stops for dementia patients so that they don't actually get on a real bus.
Today we are nearly flooded Düsseldorf, but not to visit the
Rhine
or the local palace. Instead, we are here to investigate one of Germany's rare and controversial fake bus stops, sneakily hidden away in this side street.
Okay, no, never mind. I just realized it's next to a hospital. You might be right.
Quick quiz. Okay. Which of these is a real bus stop and which one is fake? It's probably pretty easy to spot, especially if you can read German. Option A is the real bus stop, as you could probably easily tell by the 2 bus lines written on the sign, the timetable, the horribly uncomfortable seats, and the ginormous Aldi ad. Yet,
love those horribly uncomfortable seats.
Was first built in 2008. Residents were actually fooled and waited at the stop.
Unfortunately,
they waited in vain, as a bus would never show up. The only authentic thing about the stop is the sign. It is a real sign, issued by the local transportation authority, VRR. Now, why would you want to build an authentic looking, yet completely fake, bus stop? The answer lies in the building right behind the bus stop. It's an old folks home called the Benrath Senior Center.
I knew this. I heard about this because I took German in high school.
And Alzheimer's. Now, dementia is a horrible and complex disease that I can't even begin to get into in this video, but here are the most common symptoms that are relevant to the fake bus stop. People affected by dementia are often disoriented, restless,
there are a lot. Okay, now there are probably a lot of.
This causes many of them to suddenly want to go back to their old jobs, old homes, or long passed away parents. In the worst cases, dementia patients are locked up in prison-like conditions to keep them from trying to run away. As you can already guess, the fake bus stop literally stops old people from wandering off when they try to go back to their old lives. They step out of the senior center, see the bus stop, sit down and wait for a bus that will never arrive. Without the bus stop, patients would continue walking. This is a serious problem, with countless stories of seniors ending up in different cities, in forests, rivers, or even going missing forever. But these bus stops are not only used as a passive safety net. Patients can suddenly become incredibly irritated and even aggressive when they set their mind to going back to their past lives. So nurses often accompany patients outside the center and sit them down at the fake bus stop. That way they feel like they are progressing towards their destination. All the while they are calming down in the fresh air. And to be honest, I'm not sure whether this is sad, ironic, or maybe even good, but the patients end up forgetting why they came to the bus stop in the first place and calmly come back inside the senior center. The concept has caught on, as it makes the lives of nurses and staff a lot easier while keeping
as a concept.
seniors
It is
safe.
good.
There are 10
And I hope
other
I never
fake
get
bus stops
dementia.
in Germany, with some people claiming the
Same.
concept was dreamt up right here in Düsseldorf-Benrath and others swearing it was originally developed in nearby Remscheid. One thing that is certain, health experts often criticize these phantom bus stops as cruel and cynical lies that don't take dementia patients seriously. Germany's National Association of Health Insurance Funds voices its fierce criticism as follows. If the bus doesn't come, the patient becomes nervous rather than calm. There's also a risk of the nurses reinforcing the dementia patient's delusions when they take them to the fake bus stop. It takes a burden off the nurses but fails to have a positive effect on the patient, for whom waiting is declared to be his purpose. Coming back from my little trip to Düsseldorf, I don't have a final verdict on the good or
That's
bad.
a fair
of these
point, I
curious
guess.
It's a fair
examples
point.
of pretend
I'm not
infrastructure.
Like I've heard about
enough
I'm looking
about
forward to
medical
your
stuff to
opinions
have
in
an
the
opinion on
comments.
that.
Also, the
Yeah.
subscribe button now lights
Like on the
up
one
when
hand, I
say
get
the
it.
word
It's like if
subscribe
people are
and display
potentially
the
going to be
firework, I
violent,
think. When
it
you hit
might
it, so
be.
please go ahead and
It's
do this
usually
and
better
help me
to
hit
let
9,000
indulge it at least
subscribers.
temporarily.
Did you
But
did you
like-
see the?
When I say the word
Oh yeah, do you know the new funny thing that YouTube
What?
did?
structure,
What?
but I am
Oh,
looking
the
forward
like and
to your
subscribe.
opinions in the
Yeah.
comments. Also, the subscribe button now lights up when I say the word subscribe
Yeah.
and displays a little firework, I think.
There it
when
is.
you hit it. So please go ahead and do this and help me hit 9,000 subscribers.
It's dorky, but it
And
is a very
finally,
nice
special
integration.
thanks to my
Hey,
patrons,
you know what
Did
else
I
is
Keep
really
Buying,
funny?
Game Bites and
Not
Phoenix
me.
Hen for supporting me.
No, you're funny.
Oh.
Is the if you have a video of somebody saying subscribe, it still detects it. It's like some kind of transcription.
It's an audio transcription thing, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Apparently, we're dumping the ROM of a GBA game by crashing it.
Yeah, we're we're listening to the screams of pain by a crashing video game and then reanimating its corpse. Also, I'm just gonna give a warning. It has a lot of loud, glitchy noises, so be careful if you don't like that.
We want to cleanse the viewer's ears.
Can you
and
dump a
like-
GBA ROM just by listening to its crash sound? Let's find out. Do some sanity checks.
Oh dang! Also, I realized a video I submitted today.
Let's crash the game and record
It's
it in
too
high
long.
quality. Funny command.
Memory manipulation.
4 hours later, after around an hour 50, the ROM plays its contents. Noise.
Crunch.
Yeah, and then it's like the ROMs, the samples for the music are in here. There's the trumpet.
Which
We love
is this
we love
Pokemon
the trumpet.
Emerald?
Yeah.
Speaking of video game music, I put one that's unfortunately I didn't realize was maybe too long on video game.
The history
sampling.
sampling. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very good. Might be too long because it's like 30 minutes.
I love those. Oh, those are Pokemon cries. That one took me a minute.
Audio is funny in computers and cursed as well. You can't convince me that nearly all PC audio is kind of magic and horrifying in its own right. Digital
yeah, no,
audio
it
is horrifying and beautiful at the same time.
It's doing a thing.
We taught the rocks how to scream.
We taught the rocks how to. We taught the rocks how to think, and now we're just listening to them scream. Big empty sections of F-Zero in the round, and because sound data isn't changing, it's very hard to reliably know how many bytes are supposed to be there. You can't know when each byte starts and which ends. So you now need to fucking crop shit because of the dead silence. So I had to make more dumps to eliminate errors. I grabbed a random laptop from my pile of research hardware. What do you have in your kitchen? I have laptops.
Is this the same video?
Yeah.
Windows 7 Ultimate. I don't even really know what it is.
This way I can record for hours without hogging my main PC.
Am I the only one who remembers like almost never seeing a basic copy of Windows 7 and always saw Windows 7 Pro fucking everywhere?
Yeah.
Even on non-Pro machines?
Windows, like any home edition sucked. Like really bad. It boots, it's obviously not correct. The fact that we've already gotten to the opening is pretty good.
Love that I just recognized like the boot up screen for like the 3rd gen Pokemon games.
It's almost there.
Got pretty far.
It got pretty far in that opening.
Hold on one second.
It did it. Oh, time to try real hardware. It's a Chinese replica. Oh, okay. It's a replica cart. We'll get to those later.
Anyway.
Ding. Time for torture. Sounds great. Distortion. I'm so mad with the fucking speculative twist. I know, right? It makes me sad.
I mean, that's an issue with basically the entire retro industry. Fortunately, Pokemon is like one of the most pirated games of all time, I'm sure. So you could probably find ROMs pretty easily.
True. And there's always Moemon.
And if you're mad about people buying Pokemon cards for speculative investment, why are you buying Pokemon cards? Please just stop. I'm kidding.
Also, did
buy
you,
Pokemon cards if you want to.
I think you missed the bit.
I saw him solder them, yeah.
No, that. Here's the tools.
Yeah, he's cutting out the. Yeah, I saw the.
Those fake physicals do not work with transfer. I thought they did. Huh.
Interesting. I wonder why that is. Wonder if
I thought they did because it was
because I would think that'd be all just in software because an emulated version should work fine. No.
Checksum. Maybe.
Maybe I would think that Nintendo would put that much effort into like doing that.
I want to say yes because there's competitive integrity.
They don't fucking care about that. Like Nintendo does not care about Pokemon balance at all.
No, as in competitive integrity of people's Pokemon.
They don't care. It is so easy to hack all of these games and just give your character as many Pokemon as you want through really basic memory manipulation. The games don't crash or anything. They work fine. You can literally just give yourself the Arceus event in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl before the event even came out, and I know because I did it.
Oh, wow.
It's super easy. Maybe nowadays it's harder because the tech is better, the system's more advanced, and so much stuff is relying on an internet connection. But back in the day, shit, you could do whatever.
What pissed me off was home rule remove event Mon movesets. I feel like that was like an oversight for like sterilization for what they wanted to do.
I will say this person has figured out a very convenient way to dump GBA ROMs.
Just to pull
convenient. A way that's potentially
convenient.
easier than other methods, relying on exclusively a Game Boy.
Yeah, all you need is something that plays it and an audio jack. The save file will be loaded.
I didn't realize Home will remove event Pokemon movesets, and that makes me kind of glad I never took the Deoxys I got from the Space Center Houston off of my DS, and that is probably because it loses movesets.
He's good and valid. Also, oh, this is one from Peter. Forcing an obscure 2006 micro PC to play Sonic games.
Let's go. I mean, I suppose worst case scenario, you could try hacking a newer Pokemon game to add it in manually.
Oh no, it's the Sony
Country Music Awards. I've become a billionaire. But no one cares about that. What kind of Sonic games we talking on this thing?
It's the tiny Sony Vial Boy. Do you remember?
Oh, I wonder, Mama Nile, do you know if that applies to the fucking Pikachu you get from Pokemon Battle Revolution on the Wii? The one with Surf?
I can run Sonic R in my hand, essentially.
It does? Oh. That's kind of a weird
oversight.
I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but very odd.
To do, so I'm also building perhaps.
Maybe they were ready to get abused. Or is he playing City Skylines?
Yeah, I'm known to be a little bit of
It's Sonic. It's Sonic. Oh, I didn't even know Sonic R was on PCs. What the hell?
A lot of like Saturn stuff came to PC. There's even a card for it on a LGR. I think did a video on it.
Oh yeah, the Sega Saturn.
Hello.
Start
button is. I type the word start. It doesn't work. Sometimes I forget that Sonic R is in fact haunted. Well, it does run and actually look pretty smooth. So I'm just gonna straight up move on, not because I can't get it working, because I'm a pretty ingenious computer guy, but just because.
I doubt it will run very well, because it was probably a Windows 95 or 98 game.
Yeah,
Sonic
but this is
Mega Collection.
It's a portable. It's a portable Vista.
If the website works. What else is
You'd
your
be
problem?
surprised.
Lack of entertainment. You live in Sonic. Have a water park. Have a big statue of Chris from Sonic. Oh wow, the website actually.
Samba Diego.
I know them.
I miss you. Okay, these are just emulations, though.
Can I push
probably, right?
Yeah.
Sonic Dreams Collection? No, don't even.
Computer, you decided.
I do want to see
Somebody
that.
Mean Bean Machine. Mean Bean Machine.
Mean Bean Machine.
Yeah, let's go.
Isn't Mean Bean Machine just Puyo?
Yes, it's rebranded Puyo.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
Very cool.
Like it's rebranded.
I've never heard of Sonic Labyrinth.
Never played this one.
What the hell is this?
Is that a Game Gear game?
This is a video game? Certainly not very.
Isometric.
It looks like 3D Blast for the Game Gear.
It looks like a Game Gear.
I can maybe see why I've never heard of this game. It's not that it's not fun, it's that it isn't.
What is Sonic
You may
Labyrinth?
notice Sonic Adventure.
Sonic.
The version that all the Dreamcast people get mad about you for playing.
Yeah, Labyrinth is a Game Gear.
Figured. It looks like a Game Gear game.
DX was on the PC?
That it works?
It's on the PC right now.
For multiple.
What do you mean?
I feel like the roads kind of suck.
I don't know if they released one originally back in the day. Let me look it up.
But there's no
this
way
says
we'll
2006.
too. Like,
2003. Oh my god.
There's no way. They actually got AC/DC for this. Seems it actually runs pretty smooth. Beans.
Wait, oh no, here release dates.
Let's get him.
Yeah, it came out on Windows in JP PAL and North America, although the North America one came out last, weirdly enough.
For caring about what's going on in my
And I guess it got re-released again later on Steam.
Me to my siblings.
But I know that Dreamcast people hate this version of the game. They insist you play with mods that add the textures from the Dreamcast version back in.
Yo, I can play Sonic Adventure on the touchscreen. Natively, in fact, as they say sometimes. Now, I won't do that because mostly I'm recording using a camera. And,
which is worse, folks? Playing Sonic with a touchscreen stylus or playing Bayonetta 2 with a touchscreen stylus?
Like, oh, can we play Sonic on Philips alarm clock? Not supposed to be an actual replacement or any reason to be on video. That Where am I? That being said, if you're thinking of the portable ways.
Anyway, I had a very nerdy excitement today.
Legit. This is the first time I've ever been able to say this, but
I got really excited about the fact that my new router is coming tomorrow.
The Unify one?
Yeah, the Unify.
Let me know how that goes.
That checkpoint.
You need other hardware, or you need a controller to use it.
Oh dear.
I already have one. That's why I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I mean, alternatively, you can just run the controller on a spare PC hardware. Like, it's not that bad.
I don't know how to quit.
But it's like...
Or you could pay them $14 a month.
No, I'd rather starve.
Infect my computer with Tails mouse.
Oh my god, they have wallpapers and cursors. Let's go!
That's how you know it's 05.
That's how you know the PC port's fucking amazing.
What, this bad boy? 2005, right? So like
custom
era. Can you play Sonic Adventure on the PSP? We're the modding community. Yes, you can. Let me feel cool.
Well, oh wait, that came out. That did come out on
Sonic
PC. I forgot.
No, it's not gonna run.
Riders?
I love that I recognize the program he's using to load these. It's literally something designed to trick your PC into thinking you have a DVD drive.
My favorite games is SH.
Wave the Swallow.
Sonic Heroes came out on fucking PC.
Yep.
Sonic Heroes, Sonic
You got it, buddy.
Heroes.
You got it,
I like
Dude,
the
if I hear
song.
this theme. Okay.
Sonic Heroes had the worst music out of any Sonic game of the 2000s, and we all know I'm right.
That's such good. Sonic Heroes had the worst music, and it's just this fucking beat.
Honestly, that's not much worse than the actual
Are you
theme.
fucking
I'm gonna
really?
be real.
Nothing happening disguised as something happening.
No, I'm sorry. If you compare it to the other games of the time,
Wait, there's no audio. Wait, why is there no?
It's trying its best.
Thank you. It's good to hear someone actually speaks English around here.
Oh no, that's. Oh no, that music's in post.
I actually kind of liked Sonic Heroes at the time.
Shadow setting disabled.
Yes, a little better. That doesn't.
There's no audio. There's no music.
2000s PC gaming, especially for console ports of the time.
Thundershot Rouge. Bruh. Cringe moment. Bruh.
I'll take it from here.
I'm on a Windows Vista. Rouge, have you heard of Windows? And then Rouge is like,
so.
I really wish education was organized. People don't need education.
Really wish hashtag education was
In
organized.
fact, give me the city policy, high-speed highways, duh, and maximum taxi fares so that people run, and make everyone go faster.
Oh God. I remember I stole money to buy this game.
From who?
From my brother.
Dolphin here.
He had previously stolen money from me.
4-bit. This is an old 32-bit version of Vista, and you'd need a 32-bit version of Dolphin to do it.
Oh gosh, he's gonna try to emulate.
He's trying to.
At least he's playing the superior Wii version.
Copy of Sonic Unleashed. Maybe we could actually play.
Well, fun fact.
According to that, he is.
So. Sonic Unleashed on the Wii, and I think the PS2 is a different version than what's on the 360 and PS3.
Coding complex things.
Oh my God! It doesn't. It doesn't support OpenGL 2.0.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh.
Internet service? You live in the coolest, fastest city known to man. Internet service.
Sonic
Just
City.
make it the smallest resolution possible.
Scrunchy.
Any of the sounds? What's?
Oh!
Well, there is sounds apparently.
Yeah. Oh, that's the modern That's the modern Sega opening. It can't even play it.
No, they've changed it. Now it's just a boom. It's
the opening. It's the opening eyeball, right?
Let's do a computer restart and try that one more time because it just might be running a little.
Have you tried turning it off?
Flames are spreading. Massive wildfires. Emergency. Natural disaster incoming. You know, all the way in flipping Spain. Bushes.
One bush.
One little okay, wow.
That's over.
Whoa, natural disaster, guys. Watch out for
California be like.
I'm literally melting in this heat. My parents were literally popsicles.
Hedgehogs fall into the river in Sonic City.
Sometimes it's good to have some little shoots here so that people don't have to use the intersection. They can just avoid it altogether. That tends to make things a little less complicated. that.
Oh god.
People want to merge onto that.
American Street Divine.
Skip through
American Street.
The crosstown holiday traffic, as they say.
Oh.
Something like that.
Oh, it's getting worse.
People are using every road I'm putting here. This is completely pointless, and because I'm bored. Maybe even if we're good for Christmas, something like this.
What the hell is
Complaining about the postal service? Have you seen Park Street?
Meanwhile.
Also do some of these just to make it a little more perilous. Make sure you don't drive off the road. Hey! We are perfectly okay with how this is running. If you just want to show me some Sonic. Hark? An intro animation, perhaps?
Whoa. I'm trying to figure out.
I forgot Sonic Unleashed was a game where the planet literally cracks into pieces because there's a giant fucking evil monster that lives in the center of Earth's core.
What the hell?
It's so dumb, and then Eggman breaks it out so it breaks into a billion tiny pieces. You have to kill them all. And then you team up with a little, like, puck
Oh no, what's the last game?
This fantastic journey through various signs.
What could it be?
It's Dreams Collection, I bet.
I'm gonna kill you.
What if it is, though?
There is one more.
I'm gonna kill you.
What's the puck? It is! This. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I don't know what the fuck this is.
No, but it's the edutainment Sonic game!
I've never heard of this.
Coochie coochie coo. I mean, this will be a really good.
Yeah, Coochie is eyeball.
Sonic Schoolhouse.
Now that this one works, imagine being able to play
This looks like that fucking horror, lo-fi horror.
It looks like Baldi's Basics, yeah.
Yeah. Baldi's Basics.
Oh, that hurt.
It does look like Baldi's Basics, though.
That did hurt to watch. Oh, hey, look, there's a follow-up video about the cups.
If you've been paying even a little bit of attention lately, then you've probably noticed that there's...
I feel like we should probably skip ahead to the fall, the decline, because we literally got the backstory for
I feel like
before.
the decline has started recently because everyone now knows what these things are and think they're cringe.
Cultural significance.
Let's just skip ahead to the decline.
Alright, so now we're getting kind of into the speculation portion of the video. I think that whole viral car fire video thing was both the best and worst thing that could have happened to Stanley. Because that video really pushed the public awareness of
Eggman's face being on the moon is
trend in
canon,
general
and the
to
reason you don't
critical
see it in
mass.
later games is because they turn the moon around. Are you fucking kidding me? I was like, why isn't it there? We turned it around.
As a thing, are now very aware of it.
It's like
And the
sweeping it under the
popularity of
rug.
Stanley Cups are very driven by youth culture, and Stanley knows this.
Youth culture drives culture, and now more than ever before, female youth culture drives culture.
But now the demographic of people interested in Stanley Cups is expanding on both ends of the spectrum. It's getting both older on this side and younger on this side, which is going to make it much less cool for the teenagers and young adults in the middle. Now your grandma's going to be asking you,
what's the deal with these Stanley Cups? Should I get one?
And that's usually the nail in the coffin for a trend. And trend cycles in general have been getting shorter and shorter. Now it's still a little early to tell as I'm making this video, but I think we're at the peak and we're about to see a big decline in the popularity of Stanley Cups. Maybe not, there are some very smart people.
I mean, in the TikTok era, trends are like on hyperspeed, TBH.
TikTok trends are like
a little longer, but
2 weeks.
No matter what, it's not going to stay at this peak level of hype.
Like I had to give it, if I had to give it a time frame, it's like every 2
force
weeks.
Of trend cycles is a force that
We live in a culture where like fast fashion is normalized and people will spend like $100 on a piece of clothing that falls apart in less than 3 months.
Because they won't wear it in 3 months.
And hey, the cool
They
thing
won't even
about
wear it
the
in
trend being
a
something
week.
practical, like
Or even once sometimes.
Even when the trend dies down, you still have a perfectly functional insulated cup.
That's true. That is the positive. In this case of this trend, it's like, hey, at least the
How
cup's
much
still
is a? Hold on, I'm gonna look
a
up.
Stanley Cup is like less than $40. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It's, okay. Let's like $40 for 40 ounce.
How much is an
$45.
almond-shaped Stanley Cup? Oh God.
Oh, that's not even. Oh, that's the big one. That's why. That's because it's 40, 60.
They sell small as 14. My.
Yeah, for when you want like a soda can's worth
I want a
of drink,
small
not
coffee
even
with like extra ice.
Oh, orange. It looks like you have to go up to 40 ounce to get the orang.
Core, seasonal.
No.
This one looks like it's giving you a buff.
What's limited edition? You have
it's the metallic blue and
ones.
the metallic red.
And then you can customize. What can you customize on the Stanley Cups?
Later, Niall. Love you. What can I customize? How bad can this?
You can upload an image. You can upload a graphic.
Approved image. Read.
Oh, it has to be like a easily rasterized image or something.
Wait. I got one of those. Hold up. I'm cooking. Give me a second. I'm cooking. Give me a minute.
We need wireframe Alma. I'm looking forward to whatever the fuck this is. Oh, it's your signature. Oh. How much is this though? It's now $57.
That looks actually... Oh shit, it's engraved. That's engraved.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be engraved? It's a piece of
metal. The Alma Hexblade special right here.
They could just like laser engrave that in like 5 seconds. It's not super expensive.
I know, but I'm just very impressed.
Logistically, it's expensive, but like in terms of the actual process, it's not expensive.
I do kind of wish this was a bit bigger, but I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, I may or may not get this for my.
More expensive.
I may or may not get this later for
you could be so trendy with all the folks that come into the guild house.
I got Stanley Cup.
Coffee.
These are cool, right? No. Shit. What do you mean they were like trendy like a week ago?
Everybody's on the Mongo cups now.
The fuck's a Mongo? What's a Mongo cup?
I made it up.
No, it's that meme. It was like Obama ask somebody what's a persona. I'm not telling you. I want one. No.
The Thai billionaire that bought Plum Corp Records is now making the new successor to the Stanley Cup.
Out of curiosity, I want to see how this one oh my god.
I don't think that came out as well.
If the details stay, then yes. The signature is good though. I want it on a cup. I'm gonna get it on a cup now. I didn't even know they had engraving.
Oh no. What have I done?
What have you done? Can I customize these?
No. Oh, looks like you can.
Yeah, because I want a 14-ounce tumbler.
Why do you want what are you gonna put in it?
Nothing. I can't hold anything in this.
I guess you could put water in it, but like you can't put like a bottled drink.
Okay, speaking of things that are legally dubious,
how's it going, everyone? Taki here.
You guys know that there's a flash card for the Nintendo Switch, right?
Video for you.
Surprised we're showing Taki Udon specifically.
And you already know that I have a review copy of the new Nintendo Switch flash card. In this video, we're going to do a
promote
review. Now, before we dive into this video, I do just want to say that I think there's a high chance that this video is going to get taken down by Nintendo.
It was like the Steam Deck
we're going to be looking
screen
at
or
today
something.
does have an overt piracy element to it, but I'm not going to be covering that in this video. I'm going to be covering a part that I think is above board. Now, all of the games that you're going to see in this video are my own. I bought them with my own money.
Like, to be real, this part is, when he explains it, is actually very concerning, and I was excited for this, and now I'm terrified about this product.
People like me even have the legal right to be able to back up the cards that we own, but that is what I'm going to do. I am not using any piracy in this video. That all being said, I hope they don't do that because there's a lot of important information in here, especially if you don't want to buy this thing at all. The existence of this does have the ability to negatively impact every Switch owner out there, including myself, and I want this information to exist so people can fully understand what is going to happen when this thing starts shipping out next month.
Yeah, so I call this more like a PSA or anything.
This is the MIG Switch, and at a high level, this is a multi-game flash card that is capable of being used on every Switch out there, including ones that have not been modded at all. It does this by using some creative hardware on the PCB to mirror what an actual game card
Also, the implementation is kind of wild, and it's not like a normal flash card.
The company that makes this says it's identical to an actual physical game cartridge. Right now, this cartridge won't work because we need to do some extra stuff to it, but I will just show off that it does go in as a normal cartridge would, and when you insert it all the way, it would show up here, but again, it needs some more work to be able to function correctly. As you can see, when I push this card into place, there's a red LED right there, and that basically tells you that this is not being able to read the files that are on that SD card. Now, as I pointed out, there are ways that this can be used in a somewhat legitimate sense, and there are also ways that this can be used in an illegal sense.
I support the
So I'm not gonna show you in
legitimate
this
sense.
video, but
The
on
legal
this
ones are
SD
bad.
card, I have a
Like,
full
actually
backup of
bad.
this Super Mario RPG game, and I have all of the files that the manufacturer says will allow this cartridge to act as a physical copy of this one. What that basically looks like is you're going to have a series of files. The first one is the most common because it's existed for a long time. It's a .xei dump of the actual game cartridge. And these files are typically used on modded switches or emulators like Yuzu and Ryujinx. The difference is that this cartridge is able to use several other files that are present on an actual game cartridge that haven't been used thus far. I'm going to have the full list on screen, but these would be things like unique serial numbers that are tied directly to each individual cartridge, and no
this is
cartridge should be the same.
This is the
So that's how it
problem
works from a
part.
high level, but
Each
to be able to
card is
understand how it's
serialized.
actually accomplishing that, we're going to have to open it up, and you can see that there's a screw on the top here. So we're just going to go ahead and take off that screw, and then we will be able to see the PCB.
That's like the main
underneath this
problem,
front
though, is
cover.
that it's
I'm going to leave the shell down
serialized.
here so we can take a close-up look at this PCB. I'm going to put this down on the table in just a
Which
second,
means
but I
that
want to do one close-up shot so you
Nintendo
see
can
what this looks
know
like. So the
if
first
you're
thing you'll
playing a
notice on
pirated
this PCB
game.
is that we have two small chips here that look
If you
identical.
bring it,
The thing that's pretty
if you,
obvious
I
here is
think
that
it's
they have
just
gone
if
ahead
you bring
and
it
etched
online.
off the top of this to try to hide what this chip actually is. To me, stuff like this always seems kind of pointless because this will not stop the people that have the technical knowledge to be able to find out what this chip actually is and what it's doing. Now, personally, I don't know exactly what these chips are, but I can guess that they're probably an FPGA or some other ASIC that
Also, the fact that it's so small and the majority
and be able to use
piece
those
is
files that
the
we mentioned
SD
earlier.
card
Now,
reader
for those
is
of you out there that can remember the
technically
days of the
impressive.
Nintendo DS, then you'll know that piracy was rampant on that console. And there were a lot of solutions that came out to be able to do what this cartridge is doing now. But we can probably guess, due to the length of time that this took to come to market, that Nintendo upped up their security to a significant degree versus those older consoles. This is an example of an R4 cartridge for the Nintendo DS, and it basically does
classic
the same
R4.
thing that this
We
new
love the
cartridge
R4.
does, but this one has less functionality at this point in time. As I mentioned earlier, I did a full backup of this cartridge on this SD card, but right now, these two chips
Brandon,
do not know
did
how
you have
to
an
use
R4 when
those
you were a kid?
files. At a high level,
did
there are a
not.
few different
I
ways
had
you
an
can go
Action
about
Replay
creating
DS,
a
though.
cartridge dump, and one of the more
Did you have
common
something
ways
that I'm
is to
guessing,
create what is
like,
called a
was
split
similar?
file dump of a cartridge.
So
A
the
dump of
Action
this
Replay
game will
DS
create two different
was
files, and right now,
kind of like a
these two
Game
chips have not been
Genie in
programmed to
terms
be
of
able to
its
read those
how
split
it
files.
worked.
So we need to update
You
this, and I'm gonna show
inserted
that
the
process
cartridge
right now.
directly into the DS, and you could boot into it to make changes to the Action Replay itself. And if you put a game in it,
I
it
have the
would
files on my
basically
SD card. Now I'm going to put
it's
this
basically a
inside
cheat
the
engine.
switch, and we need to power this to be able to update the two
I believe
chips that are
something
inside
similar
here.
existed for the
You can do
PlayStation
that
2 and the
by putting
GameCube,
it
but
inside
I've
a
never used
Switch
those. I only
console.
ever
As
used the
soon as you
DS
see
one.
that blue light will blink.
Yeah.
What?
Once the blue light's
No,
gone,
I'm just reading
that means
comments.
it's fully updated.
Okay.
All right, so we've gone ahead and updated the software that's on this card. Now, when we insert it into this switch, it should show up as Super Mario RPG because all of the same files that are on this cartridge are now on this one. So I'm going to push this cartridge down, and you should see that this LED here turns green, and then the game will show up here.
Boop.
It's green.
Is the PSA bit about
we
how
should be able to
Nintendo
boot
might
this
fucking
up,
ban you for
and can
this?
see that
Nintendo
in
will
this
kill
situation,
you.
We have a
Yes.
single game on the MIG switch.
I will
and
say
since I'm doing this
you could just
in
turn
the
on
legal
airplane
way,
mode in like
there's
two
no real
buttons.
point to do this
I
because
think
I
it's
could
a
just use my
little.
real
I think
game
it's just a little.
cartridge
It's
if I
a little
wanted to.
bit
If I lose
worse
either one of
because
them, I'm basically
it might
losing the same amount of
it
money,
might
so it
not
doesn't
even be
make
your own
sense to
fault.
just
Like
use
he'll
this
explain
for
it
a single
later.
game. So that's when we get into the multi-game aspect of this. So what I'm going to do now is follow the same process that I did to put my own Super Mario RPG files onto this MIG switch and do the same thing with 3 other games so I can show how this works when you have more than one title on the MIG switch SD card. Well, that took a little while, but I have all of the files for these 4 game carts that I own on the MIG switch SD card, and now I can go through the process of showing you what it's like to use this in multi-cart mode. So let's start by just inserting the cartridge, and if I'm not mistaken, it should just go back to Super Mario RPG since that was the last game that I played on this. And you can see that that's the case. This process is a little jank for a first-gen release, but let's go through what you have to do to get this to switch to a new title.
Yeah, this is like the implementation's jank.
So you just saw the LED light went green when I first put this in. If you want to switch to a new cartridge, you have to eject the card when the light is solid green and then reinsert it again, and then you go to the next game in the list. So let me just show you what that looks like. Insert the card, eject, and then when I insert it again, a new game should show up here. And Pokemon Sword is there. Now if I want to switch to another
basically
game, I have to
just
do that
like
same process again.
It's like you double click, basically.
Yeah,
eject it.
I've had a similar experience with
when I
like
insert it again,
multiple
it will be a different
ROM
game.
SNES cartridges where basically every time you power on
There's
or
Let's
reset
Go
the
Eevee.
SNES, it switches to the next ROM.
Eject.
Don't know how exactly it
Insert
determines
the
that,
jack.
but that's how it works. SNES
Insert
doesn't
again.
know any better.
And
Don't usually
there's
like
Link's
doing
Awakening.
that. I
So
prefer
again,
to
these
buy
are
the
my games right
authentics,
here that I
but
backed
like
up off camera with my own Switch.
I can't help it
And
if
the company
Nintendo
that
doesn't want me to
makes the
buy
Link's
authentic
Switch
hardware.
claims that you can use
Right.
all of these online with no problems.
And people
If they implemented
oversell
this
them for
card
hundreds of
correctly, then
dollars.
that
Like, I'll
should
pay
be the case,
$60
but I
for an
don't
old
really
game,
feel
but I'm not
comfortable with
paying
doing that,
100.
so
I'm not
you'll see
paying
that my Switch is
200.
on airplane mode. We're going to talk about the issues with this product in just a second, but I want to wrap up this part of the video by going over where I think this has a valid use case. So let's say, for example, you're
Backing
a
up
person with
is always
huge
a valid
collection of
use
Switch
case.
games that
Yeah,
you don't
backing
want
up
to
and
carry
playing a
around
backup
with you when you're
copy
traveling. I have
that
a
you
few
may
Switch
yourself,
models, and I'll
I
take them
don't
with
Of
me
your
to show
own
you.
games
Switch life
are
isn't so light,
is
but I
never a
don't want to
problem.
carry around a lot of
That's
my very
legally
expensive
never a
Switch
problem.
cartridges because if I lose those,
Yeah.
then I'm out a lot of money. But if I just lose a Switch, it's not that big of a deal. Some of these cartridges need to be imported into the country that I live in, so it's a big hassle to replace them if I do lose them. But it's not a big hassle to replace a Switch since these are very easy to get.
I'm trying
where
to
I
think
live.
of
So
what
from like a non-pirate standpoint, I can see the
non-American
appeal of
cartridges
something like this
exist.
for someone that has a large collection
Other
of
countries
Switch
other
titles that they
than
don't want to
the
travel
United
around
States
with.
exist.
Well,
Obviously,
yeah,
you
but
could
like,
use digital
what, no,
releases
I
for
mean,
something
Damn.
like this,
what
but I like
Switch
to buy all of
games
my games as a
are
physical
not
release.
in the
That's where the
US
above board
off the
aspect
top
of
of
this
my
product
head.
ends. And now I want
Just
to go
read the
over some of
specific
the
stuff.
issues or potential
should
issues
probably
that
have
I
used an
think
example,
people
but he
should be
probably
aware
didn't
of
wanna
now that this
take the
exists.
time.
After checking out the comments from the last couple of days, I have seen a lot of people that are now worried about the secondhand market for Switch games, and that's something that's valid to go over. Let's go through a couple of scenarios. Let's say, for example, somebody owns this Pokemon Sword game, and they do a full backup like I did on their MiG Switch. Later on, they go ahead and sell this on the secondhand market, or they return it to the store that they bought within the return window. You come along and buy this game and use it on your own Switch, and then you go online with it. Well, the original owner of this card has a full backup of that cartridge, including all of the unique identification that ties it back to the original physical cartridge. If they go online and you go online, it will be very easy for Nintendo to ban both of your devices. And based on the sentiment that I've seen on the internet over the last few days, this seems to be something that a lot of people are looking forward to doing. Now, when it comes to the cartridges that I own, I buy half and half new and used. Sometimes I can get the game that I want to play with the version that's released in the country that I live in, but other times I'll buy secondhand models of ones that people have imported in the country so I can get the US or the European version. Before now, I never had to worry about whether or not my account would be banned from using a physical cartridge like this, because the dumps that people made of cartridges like these never included those unique IDs. Now that they do, Pandora's box has been opened, and I don't think that we can ever go back. Even beyond the fact that we now have to worry about whether or not somebody has done a full backup of a cartridge that they now are trying to sell off, this hardware existing now makes it possible for people to make bootleg clones of original cartridges that will look identical to the original cartridge unless you open it up. Obviously, in this example,
Also
it's
a
easy to
problem.
tell that this is not an official
I mean,
cartridge
that
because it has that
inherently is
SD
an
card slot.
issue with,
But if they removed the SD card slot
Other, like,
functionality
bootleg
and only
stuff.
included the ROM for
Yeah,
the game
this
that they
is
want
not
to
a
make
new
bootleg clone
problem.
of, then
It's
you can see
just
how this
now
could become
you're
a big
running the risk of getting banned because
Yeah, you're
Nintendo
running
has
the
no
risk.
way to know.
Yeah, the problem now in comparison to last generation, or not even then, like maybe 2 generations ago, is that Nintendo will shoot you on site now. Like, they have the ability to actually shoot you on site.
Issue. I haven't talked about the price at all in this video, but this hardware sells for around $60, but I don't think these 2 chips here are that expensive. And if another company can come around and find out how to copy this solution, then it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that they would go.
And also, in theory, you could probably get rid of the SD card reader, put in standard flash, and now you have indistinguishable Switch bootleg card.
And start making
Yeah, you just do
bootleg clones of
embedded
more expensive cartridges.
eMMC.
Unfortunately, the cat's out of the bag now.
That's
and
the
I have
problem.
to assume that this thing is going to sell like crazy. So these kinds of things are things that you're going to have to be worried about going forward. Beyond everything that I just covered.
Also,
there is a way
allegedly,
to
Team
use this
Executor
without
worked on
any
this,
of
and
the
that dude
unique
needs to maybe
identification
stop
that comes
poking
from
the
an actual
bear.
game cartridge. If you never
He
intend to
already
go
poked the
online with it,
bear.
You do
He's-
require
but
the
he
unique identification
can't
from
stop.
a single Switch game. So I imagine
He
that
can't
somebody
stop
will be able to,
poking-
you know, dump that,
He
and
can't
everybody
stop
will use it
poking
for
the
their own
bear.
purposes.
He needs
But I
to
just wanted to
stop
mention that
before
here.
the
One thing
bear
is, I
mauls
think
him
the
and
number
his
that this company
family.
makes. Right now, you need to have a
Yeah.
hack switch to even be able to dump a cartridge in the first place. And if you already have a hack switch, then there's no reason
Speaking
to
of
use
which, I
something like
need
this
to get my
because you
Switch
can just
repaired
install
after
the game files
I
on an SD card and travel around in that way.
He does have actually another point. This is really weirdly redundant because if you have a hacked Switch, you can already play games from your SD card and
Yeah.
rip them.
Yeah, but
So the
now-
purpose of this is
now-
weird.
When their dumper comes
Now
out,
you
that will
can
expand the issues that I just
do it
talked
with
about
a
in my last
non-hacked
section, but it'll also
Switch.
make it easier for
Yeah.
people to take their
Like,
game
I have
files
a
and
launch
play it on the
Switch, so it's
systems that
easy
they
for me to
want
hack
instead
mine,
of just being
but
locked down to the Nintendo
a
Switch.
lot of people
Obviously,
don't.
Nintendo's not going to be happy about that, but that's where things are right now.
it's still like
something that I didn't address.
That's also why like they're on the website that they have for the MIG switch. They're very, 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 very clear. Hey, this is for backups. Don't fucking do anything else with this. Is literally just for backups. Dear God, please, 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 dear God. Like they just like beg you to do it repeatedly.
Yeah. Which is pretty much the only reason I personally would want to hack my consoles. I don't really care about homebrew and being able to install emulators
saving your like
consoles.
saving your backups is important. That's fine.
Yeah, I just don't want to have to go online and get either sketchy or pain in the ass to get downloads to emulate my games. Like,
I'm just lucky I have a Gen. I just got lucky that I have a Gen 1 Switch. So
yeah,
I'm good.
I need to get specifically the non-Redbox Switch.
Ooh, you guys want to see a thick boy?
I just bought a rather unique old
thick
IBM
boy.
Laptop
I can't remember if you showed me this or if I saw this on my own.
ThinkPad.
You may have saw
or
this on
should
your
I
own.
say ThinkPad? This
thick
is
boy.
a chunky machine, and its thirst for power requires an equally big power adapter, delivering 120 watts because this laptop is running an 88-watt Pentium 4 CPU. Due to the bulk of this notebook, it's good to see that care has been taken to wrap it up.
Is 88 watts the full wattage for a Pentium?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Good to have a
Which
spare,
let me look it up.
with many other IBM ThinkPads. Now we can
like is that like a full desktop?
Keeping the 3.33 gigahertz CPU with hyper-threading cool requires some serious cooling vents, and the original owner said he used it quite extensively for many years. So the fans will likely
back to this. Why are you running a mini desktop CPU in a ThinkPad? I mean, some people do.
Is a good thing.
Like it's like it's like literal portable
in
workstation.
a somewhat portable form. Whether you consider 8.5
people have wanted portable workstations ever since computers.
There was a mobile Pentium which
the large vents
are
a necessity. There's even an air intake above the keyboard. And as far as ports go, you get 4 USB, audio in and out
for a laptop. Because apparently the desktop Pentium 4 had a TDP of 115 watts.
Disk drive. Models without discrete graphics would actually have a floppy drive here instead of an air vent as well. So let's fire up this rather grimy machine and see how it runs. This
says that the mobile Pentium had a huge TDP increase over the Pentium 4M, but it doesn't tell me what the TDP was. It just says it was an increase.
Installed on here as well.
Also, lol Linux high. Oh, high XP.
I mean,
yeah, that's the good shit.
Home. So it's got a 3.3 gigahertz P4 as well as 2 gigabytes of RAM, the maximum amount for this model. Jumping ahead a bit, I tested the battery.
To be fair, ThinkPad's kind of synonymous with Linux nerds at this point.
In around 17 years. Not bad. From afar, this looks okay, and I've definitely seen worse.
It doesn't have a trackpad. It just has the nubbin.
Clean out. I wonder just how clogged with dust.
Is there an official name for the nubbin?
It's called the track point.
Opening up one of these
it's called the nipple.
Pretty straightforward, thanks to IBM posting instructions online. This is the original 80 gigabyte IDE drive.
Oh, this was before they sold it to Lenovo too.
Yeah.
This must have been like right before. Hold on, when did IBM sell? IBM.
RAM and hard disks. The rechargeable BIOS battery seems to be keeping the chime.
AO BIOS battery. Rechargeable BIOS battery.
For as little as $10. Next, there were a few screws holding the keyboard in place. It's also held in with some clips. I gently pried upward.
Yeah, this is literally a year before Lenovo bought the brand.
Oh wow!
Okay. Lenovo bought the brand and the entire business unit from IBM because they weren't making money off of
cooling assembly
at that point.
The whole top casing to be removed, unfortunately. But it does mean we get to explore this interesting laptop along with all its quirks. This laptop
it does kind of suck that like outside of Dell, pretty much all American PC manufacturing died in the 90s and 2000s.
This mobile graphics solution was originally released back
just got completely replaced by Taiwan and China.
Somewhat indirectly by this heatsink, and
I guess HP exists.
Look at this lame ass heatsink
made
though.
Contact with the GPU using thermal pads.
Oh boy! Oh, it's removable. It's removable.
Other ThinkPads, the optical drive is not hot swappable.
Removable, but probably not upgradable.
The keyboard to get the drive out, and the next step is definitely going to be one of the biggest, removing the entire top casing. This required the removal of many Phillips head screws. IBM are definitely one laptop brand that made their screen hinges strong, and this
at least it's just removing screws and not like playing 4D just with connectors.
The casing on
or having to
this is a very
cut glue
cooling solution.
And adhesive.
Yeah.
Absolutely required to cool
here we go. Here's the cooler.
Pentium 4 CPU.
Yeah.
That thermal paste is not the worst I've ever seen.
This is pretty much the best processor you could put in here anyway. And to remove the old paste, I applied some isopropyl alcohol, which doesn't leave behind any residue.
Chunky man.
Years of use left behind anything interesting in the fan assembly? Well, it looks like there's a good bit of carpet forming and... God, that can't be good for airflow. This probably explains why I didn't feel a lot of air coming out of the vents while testing some games. Now,
and dust bunnies gross you out, huh?
This took many attempts.
That one was pretty bad. It was really thick, dude.
I mean, yeah, but that's from like literally 20 years.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just like,
processor cool. Now the assembly can begin, starting with a fresh application
it's bad.
of thermal compound. I spread a thin layer evenly over the surface,
Tasty.
and when I
using a credit card,
I was sure to apply even pressure across all of the mounting screws. It's a shame that you've got to take it apart this far just to access the CPU, but at least it is replaceable. And the display is the
but I mean, the CPU is something that you wouldn't.
Shout out to when Intel made socketable CPUs. Good times.
Yo, that's a pretty good resolution. That's a high resolution.
And to hold those hinges in
what resolution did he say it was?
1440 by 1050.
Over time. It's also great.
Yeah,
not bad, right?
4x3, but still pretty good.
It's 4x3, but come on, everything's gonna be 4x3.
The actual panel quality was probably not
ass, but resolution. I mean, just like pure resolution wise is good.
Yeah,
eucalyptus oil
good for
is
text.
For removing bacteria and leaving the laptop smelling fresh. This is already making a big difference.
I should buy some eucalyptus oil when I
all of the hair from the keyboard. You really wouldn't want to see that. And with a scrub from a toothbrush covered in isopropyl alcohol, the keys are clean once again. This is a machine that honestly now is in near perfect condition. The last part to clean was the screen, and this turned up spotless. I feel due to its size, this wasn't moved around much.
No watermarks.
The G41 is an odd device that came out right before Intel's Core 2 Duo CPUs, which were not only faster but far less
bad timing.
Meaning laptops like this didn't have to be as thick and heavy to achieve
the last of
the
chonkers.
Let's try using some software on
the last of the chonkers.
Chonkers never left. I meant. Never mind. Chonkers never left.
The original hard disk
They've gotten thinner,
so I won't replace
and you could do more with them.
Compatible SSDs with an IDE
this thing does have. Actually, I don't know if integrated graphics was a thing at this point. Actually, don't know when that became a thing. Crisis 1.
This is a
Far
Cry 1, excuse me.
I felt as if the resolution
the debut of the Cry engine, and then Ubisoft bought this franchise because Crysis didn't care anymore. Or Crytek didn't care anymore.
It's very playable.
It's
Star Wars
Let's go Battlefront 1.
Also on
oh, no, this is 2.
600p was
this looks
fine.
pretty good.
As long as games are
have you played Battlefront 2?
Older,
no.
You should. It's on Steam. Battlefront 2 Classic.
Game, Age of Empires 2,
great,
which is to be expected. And I did end up playing heaps of this while using the
another
battery.
game you should play.
This actually looks really good at this resolution.
Speaking of nostalgia trip, I had to play old RuneScape. This was a lot of fun, and I'm surprised how much my character has leveled up with me simply slaying cows when I test old laptops. The real test for an ancient laptop is YouTube
Oh, this thing's gonna make it fucking chug.
Watch it cry.
Playback at 360p was totally fine.
Oh,
But
all right, not bad.
720p, it fed much
worse.
Ooh. Shout out to no H.264 hardware acceleration. Or VP9.
Drawing abstract art in
I missed that
Microsoft
screensaver.
Paint is also a legal requirement when making a video about a Windows XP computer. Not sure where I was going with this one, honestly. While this is a very outdated device now, when it came out it offered excellent CPU performance, but I really doubt many people use these on their laps, given how heavy and hot the base got. The keyboard is great, a common theme among IBM notebooks of this vintage, and as an overall package it's sturdy, dependable, and would double
I like how
as
he's
a
talking
doorstop.
about it as if it was like
Some people hate
wine.
the pointer nub, but honestly I couldn't imagine this laptop without one. It's
I love
another
the nub.
device I'm glad to have in my collection.
Is it because
anyway,
I'm gay?
thank you very much for
I don't know.
watching, and if you want to see more,
I don't know, I
definitely
feel like
consider
because I'm gay, I
subscribing,
really
and
like
if you've
the
liked
nub
this
more.
video, feel free to leave a like.
know.
I'll see you in the next video.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, nub. Oh, the next one's from Bringus. Yay! It's somebody making a game that scared people as kids and now just scares people.
I remember I had
all of them.
A Monopoly game that came in a General Mills cereal box as a CD.
A whole. That sounds familiar.
It
I'm guessing it was like a tie-in,
weird.
right?
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't a tie-in. You had like different
discomfort when
types of scenarios with Operation, but you were more like using your cursor to navigate inside of their body not just a top-down view. You had like a X-ray side view. It was kind of weird.
Like a weird,
fun,
like an attempt at like 3-dimensional.
No, it was 2D. You just were like, you had like a side view of the body, like X-rayed through, and you'd like navigate your cursor, which was a pair of tweezers, inside the body to grab the item and pull it out. And there were like hazards, and you were also not supposed to touch the sides. And then there were different types of people who had different things in them in different parts of their body. It was weird, but I liked it as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone has a file out there with it.
Anyway, Operation, but scary.
Do you love Operation, but you hate that you only experience mild discomfort when playing it? Do you pull a horse out of a man's thigh and think to yourself, God, I wish I could program this game to do whatever I want?
Hi, welcome to Bringus Studios.
It's have an Oreo.
I don't know.
If you're like me, you suffer from being a fucking idiot and just can't leave well enough alone because of it.
Yeah.
Today I'm going to take you on a journey, and together we're going to make my dreams into a reality. Not your dreams, just mine. Let's get started. Step 1 is to get a copy of Operation, which is easy enough. Everything else is going to be a little more difficult, because I mean, there isn't much research being done in the field of Operation modding these days, so I'm going to have to come up with how I'm going to make the greatest version of Operation ever played all by myself. Here's what that looks like to me. It's got to be more powerful. If Grandma sits down to play this thing and she doesn't get a heart attack, it's not strong enough. It's got to be programmable. Look at this thing. A single game mode? In 2024? Hasbro hasn't updated this thing one bit since 1965. The plan is to offload all the game logic to a computer, which will then send commands to the game to rumble the motor. The game should also be able to tell the computer when the player is a level 0 bad kid and messes up. But how are we going to do that? Because remember what I said about the game not being updated since 1965? Yeah, there's really like nothing in here. I'm going to have to add all of my own hardware to do what I've got in mind. There's going to be 3 major components that all need to get connected together. We need a motor that's much more powerful than the original one that's going to be doing the rumbling, a microcontroller that can receive signals from the computer to rumble the motor, as well as report back to the computer when the player has made contact with the walls of each of the object chambers? What do you call this area in here? It's like a person pocket. Okay, yeah, no, we're just going to call it the object chamber.
Meat pocket.
We also need a motor controller that will amplify the signal coming from the microcontroller. The reason we need this at all is because the microcontroller is, well, dude, is puny. It can only send out 3.3 volts of power. This is what 3.3 volts looks like. Not too bad, but what if we went higher? Oh, I don't know, 12 volts? It's a lot more fun. I ordered some of these large 12-volt motors on Amazon, as well as various motor controllers. For the microcontroller, I'm going to use a Raspberry Pi Pico, since I still have a lot of these things lying around from my GameCube miniaturizing days. And I'll admit, I'm a bit of a dummy with the microcontroller stuff nowadays. The last time I ever played with anything like this,
I think Uzo was messing around with a pair of those either.
Car when I was like 14.
I mean, they're fun.
Gigantic Lego
High voltage is fun.
Comprised of smaller Lego wheels. This thing's actually sick. I should make another one.
Oh, a little tiny robot.
I heard that the Raspberry Pi Pico natively runs Python, which is my programming language of choice. I slapped some basic code together to run the motor for 10 seconds. That's 50% speed. Want to see 100? Seeing the raw power of just one of these motors, naturally I bought 3 more. Testing code with these is kind of a pain since they refuse to stay in one place. But I persevered, and after an hour of stumbling my way through Python with the help of ChatGPT, I had reached my first milestone. The code is now finally functional. Look at this, look at this. Which motor? 2. How hard? 20.
How
long?
hard?
10 seconds.
8.
Hit enter.
8.
Look at that. Look at that. Whoa, that looks trippy. But anyway, the computer can now tell this Pico to tell this motor driver to power this motor.
God, you soldered jumper cables.
Hit this button a couple times.
Why?
The computer knows what you did. Technology is wacky. We now have two-way communication between the Pico and the computer, a way to sense contact, and a way to drive the motors. The problem, though, is that this is all disgusting. Look at this. I was soldering jumper wires directly to the Pico. Yeah,
disgusting.
That one. But wait, hold up. What's the deal with this guy? It turns out that the USB port on the Pi Pico is really only good for programming the thing and not great for communicating back and forth. So unfortunately, to interact with Python programs that are running on PC, I'm going to
have to go through a dedicated serial adapter, which is what this Arduino Mega is acting as until the proper adapter that I ordered shows up.
It's silly. It's very, very silly. And this is a serious channel. I can't have silliness like this.
Bam! Proper pin headers, minus 100.
Yay, not
Bam,
silly.
The proper serial adapter, minus 1,000 silliness.
I'm sorry
not
to
silly.
interrupt this.
Serious project I've ever done.
Fauna is doing
Never
full
mind.
stack Dota 2 with fucking
Yeah.
Marissa,
Way more of
Bibu,
a
Callie,
piece of
and
flimsy
Kobo.
crap than I thought it
Yeah,
was gonna
who's
be.
doing well right now?
Either way, we can work with this.
With the electronics.
Actually, hold on. We might need to take a we need to take a small detour. I need to know what did they just start?
I don't know. I just saw it on my YouTube recommendations on my way to the bathroom and back.
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, there's a guy! There's a guy! Strong. He's a lot stronger than me. He's a lot stronger than me. But hey, my
I can't tell who's playing who, except Fauna's. I know Puck is. I know. Oh god.
Actually, I think I gave it to Puck.
Okay, my guess
Something
is
for later.
Callie's Abaddon. Who the hell is playing Tiny?
Now go.
Bibu's playing Puck, and we know Fauna's Witch Doctor.
No one's protecting the bottom, huh?
It's fine.
Probably should go.
I feel like
you don't want to watch this too.
Callie playing Abaddon makes sense because she has no idea about this game. Why is Marissa playing Tiny? That,
Max
right,
my
that
shield? Oh, true. Good idea.
she doesn't know what. Her playing Abaddon is probably the safest bet because her. Yeah.
It was just I was just mentioning it because I thought you think it was neat. I didn't mean
No,
you
I think
watch
it's funny. Also, Abaddon, because Abaddon's ult is every like when it's on, like when they get lethally hit or whatever, it starts like a timer and any hits heal them. So in theory, you have like 2 lives.
Figured out. It's time to make modifications to the board game itself to make use of them.
Huh. The screw keeping this in is under the paper, which is like plasti riveted in.
Oh.
So that's epic. All right. I'm gonna have to do it.
I too have a
Oh my
Dremel.
God, the
I haven't
fumes from
used
this
it
are
yet.
making me age 25 years. Bada bing, bada boom. It didn't
I should
stand
maybe
a
not do
chance.
that.
What's inside Operation?
Oh wow, that's so
One of these,
basic.
but tinier. Okay,
It's not even a PCB.
dome thing. Hold on,
It's
let me
just
get
a
the
bunch of
Martha
shit
off.
like glued
I
together.
also want this wire.
Oh my god, that's so
And this
bad.
LED, which is once again like plasti riveted on. Oh, that's
Oh.
gross. That's nasty. Oh my god, the fumes. Alright, thank
Why you
for the
ventilate your area,
LED.
folks.
And I guess
Yeah.
up yours to
Don't
everything
be
else.
me and not
Okay,
ventilate.
so now I actually have something tangible to work with here for figuring out where all the components are gonna go. This is what I'm currently working with. So we've got this little magic man that communicates from the computer. Computer sends commands to this guy. It sends them to the Pi Pico. Pi Pico sends them to the controller. Pi Pico sees a button press in the form of this. It sends that to the serial adapter. Serial adapter snitches to the computer. So it's actually pretty simple, but now it's just a matter of kind of fitting everything in places and putting the motors in all 4 corners. So I'm gonna do that.
Just like I did in the secretly gaming in public video, I took a top-down photo of the game and then imported it into Fusion 360. By tracing around all these extrusions that the object pockets make here on the back of the board, I can make a 3D printed piece that fits between all of them and uses them kind of like an anchor to keep all the components in place.
For real, this made me realize I should learn 3D printing or 3D modeling for this purpose.
Sheer girth.
Not for modeling, but for like making
Motors
stuff.
and the
Because
motor
like that's very, very
I'm gonna have to
clearly
raise the game up a
pretty
little bit.
good.
These walls around the corner of the game will give us the clearance that we need to mount everything, and they're also a convenient place to put all the motors. With the board complete, all I have to do now is finish up the code, which took way longer than designing and building the whole thing. I really wanted the PC to be running the game logic, and getting everything to talk back and forth over serial was really not as trivial as I was hoping. But since I put in the work to do it that way, you can now integrate the board game into literally any Python program you can think of. I made a whole library for it. Everything is finally working well enough to give it a test drive.
Wait, what is this one? What the heck is this supposed to be? Okay, that's going in last. This is a mammal. This is a mammal. This is an actual
No, the horse.
animal inside of this dude. Oh, and it's a horse. Oh I wonder if this guy's ever been to Enumclaw. Wait, and there's a rubber band. Okay, this is apparently the ribs. I got scammed. I got scammed out of the rubber band.
It's literally right there.
Come on, man. How am I supposed to play Operation without my rubber band? This is my own rubber band. BYORB. I gotta loop it around twice because it's too big. All right, I don't have a title for
He still hasn't found the rubber band.
But this is the first game.
An optional accessory.
Cracked out Operation. Here we go.
He can do it.
Okay.
Yay.
Oh, found the rubber band.
There it is.
I'm sorry, Hasbro. I'm so sorry. Okay, one down. Dude, I know it's coming. I built this thing, and it still surprises me. Little apple bottom bastard. Spooked.
The whole thing moves like it's haunted. It's pretty good.
To the right hand. No. 2 down. There we go. Wish
Yay.
Easy enough. Broken heart. Oh.
It's such a bad jump scare now.
To a tens unit. Oh, I'm twitching in anticipation now. I'm being I'm being conditioned by the game. This is only at 80% power too. Dude, I don't know how this is gonna look on camera. If my reactions seem exaggerated, I swear they are not. God, I'm just that jumpy. All right, spare ribs.
Get it. Yay.
Butterfly down.
Isn't there supposed to be like a timer involved with Operation?
Yeah, something like that, I believe.
I don't even remember. It's either like a timer or it's like
It's been a long time.
When they said bread goes straight.
It's not like Monopoly, you know, the game said hold up with
What's happening? Why did that happen? You guys saw that. You guys saw that. It was just popping off. I wasn't even touching it. Look at that. I got the water bucket. Alright, let's get the horse out this man. Enough horsing around. Ah! No! Where'd it go?
It's gone now.
Oh, it's way in there. No. It's not coming out. No. So loud. Yikes, dude. Hey. No.
Oh.
Horse removed. Just like in Enumclaw. French.
He can do it.
No! Stop!
We are really now just watching somebody play Operation.
Are you?
Well, that's how QA is sometimes.
The stakes are higher. To be honest,
not bad. No.
Instead of motors, what you could do is just make it have it fucking tase you if you mess up.
I think that's a little too much.
Absolutely.
What?
That's a little too much.
No, I don't think so. Hey, outfits, how's it going?
How's this one supposed to be hard? That was so easy. Hold on.
The
OEM rubber band.
The OEM band.
The correct rubber band is installed.
Like if it. What if the rubber band was conductive?
I saved it for last. Cool. Well, now the next step.
What's happening here?
After working through some more of the bugs in the
We're watching a man play an overpowered version of Operation.
I present to you Operation.
Yeah, there you go. There's the setup. Oh my gosh.
Except it has 4 12-volt rumble motors and it's fully controllable via serial and can easily be controlled by any existing Python script.
Yeah.
Project is finished. The code is done. I have on my Sunday best.
In theory, if I implemented this, I could is he getting electrocuted? No, he's just getting jump scared by the motors.
And by the last object,
yeah, there's like a 12-volt motor.
4 12-volt motors.
Yeah. There's some relatively strong motors in there compared to what it's shipped with.
The pencil, the bucket,
And it's so strong that it actually shakes sometimes. It sometimes shakes the items out of the containers that they're in,
Finally,
which I think is great.
starting off at 10%. This one's easy. Band is easy. Easy, ain't nothing to it. All right, increasing. We are now at 17.5% power. Wishbone.
Oh.
Easy. It's like it ain't even rumbling.
Let's have
I didn't feel
wishbones.
nothing.
Yeah?
5%
I don't remember. I don't remember my skeletal anatomy.
You don't remember your skeleton. It remembers you.
Oh, almost got me there. But we got him. We got him.
We got it. We got it.
32.5% bucket time. The bucket is easy. 40% apple time. Oh, the apple is in there.
Can you do it?
Okay, we're starting to get into spooky territory.
Like, as I was saying, I mean, if you hook it up to a, I mean, if you can hook it up to a step-up converter, you could just have it tase you. Or the thing that gives you, like, those electrical impulse, like the Temps unit shocks. One of those guys. Not, like, actually tase you, because that would be bad.
We got it.
Temps probably would be fine. It would be it would suck, but it probably would be better.
Easy. Sorry, 47.5%. We'll never know what you feel like, because we're on to 55% ribs. Easy. Oh. Easy. Sorry, 55%. We're on to 62.5%.
The tension is increasing.
Ooh, wrench is gonna be a little tricky. A little icky, tricky. A little icky, sticky, tricky. Oh, come here, little guy. Oh, hey, little guy. I just want to get you out of this man's foot. How are you supposed to get this one? No, yeah, you can pick it up like that. Okay. Or not. No. No. Okay. Okay. We're not playing nice anymore, apparently. Okay, dude. I know.
Can you do it? Yeah!
Okay. Woo. Bread time. 70%.
Bread time.
The bread. It doesn't even look like bread. It looks like a tooth.
Huh. Bread.
Easy. Bread easy. 77.5%. We're getting close to the initial test that I had done earlier now at 80%. Heart. Wow. Yep, that's what I remember. Oh, the heart sucks. They make you think there's an easy way to pick it up, but there's
just
not.
Kicks.
There's not.
Oh.
Oh, yo?
Yo.
Okay.
Oh.
It got kind of wedged in the thing. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. We have reached 85%. No man has played this game at this power level before, and I'm getting the butterfly. That was very easy. Looks like we're going... Oh, it's only at 92. I think I did my math wrong. Okay. We're going to 100%. My nemesis, the horse.
Haunts. Oh.
Don't like the horse. I really don't like the horse.
I'm shaking in my bones.
Christ. Oh. That smells like burning. Whoa! Oh my
Something
God, it
burned.
unplugged itself.
Oh.
Alright, we're back. When the wires come loose, this thing is built to fail on, unfortunately. And it would take a lot of work to make it not do that. But it would probably be worthwhile.
It fails hot or whatever. What's the opposite of failsafe?
Dude, that really doesn't smell good. Can I shake the game like a
single point of failure? I don't know.
Fail danger?
Sure.
Oh, I can shake the game. Just
I have to love the genre of maker YouTube that's basically, wouldn't this thing be better if it could maybe kill me? Yeah, that's the risk involved, and that's what makes it even more fun.
Yo. Let's go.
Yo, he did it!
That's right, Operation. I bested you. That's game mode 1. There's another one I want to try.
It's like hardcore Minecraft. Yeah.
Cables in here so they don't come out. We do a little bit of gluing. All right, the board has been glued. Now we're playing time attack. I have 60 seconds to complete the game. Every 5 seconds, you're gonna hear this, which means the power level is gonna go up.
Easy.
Let's play. All right, band.
Oh, here we go.
Done. Wishbone. Yikes. 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 At least this
Cranking it to 18.
All right, wishbone done.
I love the little comments he has in this code.
Pencil done.
Cranking.
Bucket. Oh god. Bucket done.
I feel like it should also do a thing where it like vibrates every 5 seconds or something.
We're really getting up there. Apple done. Bone. Bone. Oh, bone's
Hard.
already out. Nice.
Insane hard mode though.
Yikes. Wrench. Wrench. How much time do we have? 23 seconds. No. Dude. This was really tough.
Come on.
Wrench done.
Speed run.
Bread. Oh, come on, dude. Bread. Bread done. Heart. Oh, I'm so lucky. Oh, I got so lucky on the heart. All right, butterfly.
Easy. He could do it. Easy. Come on.
Ow, ow, holy crap. How much time? 4 seconds. Horse. Horse. Get the horse. No, get the horse.
Thanks for playing, you big dummy.
I had seconds. Run it back. Right. Fan. Done. Wishbone.
Can he do it?
Easy enough. What was it? A pencil. Easy. Bucket. Easy. Apple. Oh, not so easy. Not so easy. Apple. Done. Bone.
Bone. Come on.
Bone done. Ribs. Ribs done. Wrench. Oh, yikes. Dude. Oh, that's
The tension reminder. Right, this is Science-ish edition, yeah. This is Science-ish.
Heart. Heart. Oh.
It's like computer science-ish.
No! No heart. No.
He programmed it. He programmed the stupid idea.
Heart done. Do I even have enough time?
Don't let your stupid ideas be stupid dreams. Let them be real stupid. I think that's how the saying goes, right? I think that's how the saying goes.
Oh, it bugged. Whatever. I had 3 seconds to go. I wasn't gonna make it. Okay, well, clearly I'm not skilled enough to play this game. But you know what's great about this thing is that you don't have to play just this game. You can program the whole freaking thing in Python. Maybe even
synth modules that'll
electrocute
you if you patch in shit sounds.
You know who sounds like they'd have a lot of fun doing something like that?
Do I just not know Python? The scope is fine in Python. Okay, I guess the bear factory works in Python because Python doesn't make any sense. If it's heads and then tails,
heart rate went up, spawning dragons.
You know what? Never mind. We're gonna start running.
I'm surprised that Python streams are so popular.
Gaming.
Maybe I should do something.
Maybe, if you want.
Maybe. Meanwhile, gaming. Oh, what's the next one? What's the next video? Oh, the next video. This one's good. The $1 billion race for the perfect display. This one's gonna be good.
Here's a really weird statement. Display technologies
because LED displays
like
are cool.
Crabs. That's right. You might have heard of the concept of carcinization, where a ton of different animals that actually crabs have independently evolved to look and behave like true crabs.
Let's go.
In many places around the world.
Carcinization reference.
Like. Just look at those beady little eyes.
Evolutionary perfection.
With displays too. LCDs, OLEDs, and micro LEDs, which are the 3 most important display technologies right now, are all trying to evolve into basically the same final form, at least on the high end, despite having started off as wildly different technologies. And to explain what I mean, let's talk about how various displays work, how they have evolved over time, and what common features
See, this one's
we're all
actually
striving
educational.
for next.
It's going to be how everything's trying to be a CRT, but without all the downsides of being a CRT.
Calculators and more for decades, LCDs became the dominant full-color, high-resolution displays in the mid-2000s too, when they quickly displaced the old CRT monitors and TVs. Unlike CRTs, which fired an electron gun at a phosphor-coated screen and therefore needed to be really quite bulky and heavy, LCDs,
and made
liquid
funny
crystal
loud
displays,
noises.
were our first true mass-market flat panel displays.
I love the funny
and here's
loud
how they
noises.
work on a basic level. First, there is a backlight, usually emitting white light. Over that, we have two layers of polarizers, one only letting light with vertical waves through, and the other one only letting horizontal waves pass. A light wave can't have both directions at once, so by default, these polarizers block out the backlight, creating a black image. Now, to show anything other than black, there's a special material called the liquid crystal in between the two polarizers. And by applying a current to this liquid crystal, we can get it to twist the direction of the light waves that go through it, which in turn allows us to control how much of the white backlight is allowed to pass through the polarizer on the front.
So
Turn
that's
it all the way
brightness.
into one direction and we have white light. Turn it all the way into the other and we have a black image. Now we just need to divide the screen into many smaller segments and
now do that 3 times for each color.
Over it, and we have pixels that can create basically any color that we want. And with that, our basic LCD display is done with little crystals twisting around light to create an image. And here's a macro shot of an LCD screen in my studio, by the way, where you can see what all those little subpixels actually look like in real life.
I used to look at these when I was a kid.
LCD technology initially
I think it's why I have glasses now.
Shortcomings. All of these layers that we put in
Well, that's what my mom
backlight
told me.
mean that a huge part of the backlight actually gets filtered out before it ever makes it through the panel, which is really inefficient. And meanwhile, blacks couldn't be perfectly represented by this display because even the best polarizers let at least a little bit of the backlight through. This glowing gray backlight is a dead giveaway of any LCD panel. And meanwhile, viewing angles aren't perfect either because what comes out of the display is, by definition, very directional light. Now, scientists have come up with many different improvements to this technology, of which I think 2 are particularly important to mention. These are 2 big technologies that have brought LCDs much closer to becoming the kind of ultimate display form, the crab of the display world, if you will. First is that the backlight was turned from a single large panel, typically lit from one of the sides, into a grid of smaller and smaller LEDs. In
Lighting
current high-end
zones.
LCDs, we have thousands and thousands of these backlights, so we call them mini LED displays, and you can see this type of backlighting in action in expensive iPads and MacBooks, high-end monitors like the Apple ProMotion.
I didn't
monitor,
realize
as well
that
as
they
in
were
premium
in
TVs. Having such fine control over the backlight.
Yeah, Apple
allows
started to use
LCD
mini
to have
LEDs
almost perfect blacks for the
increasingly
first time
in their
ever,
like
and it
Mac
also allows
products and
panels
in
to
the
save
Vision
power by
Pro.
not
It's
lighting
part of
up
why the
their
Vision Pro
cars
is
that are
probably
actually in the dark.
$3,500.
The second big improvement comes from improving their color filter.
Also, in my head, I'm like, wait, isn't this
really inefficient
OLED?
because all they do
No,
is
it's
block
different.
or filter
OLED
out
involves
every wavelength
organic
of
light
our
emitting
white backlight
diodes.
that
Micro
isn't
LEDs are
actually
not
the color
those.
that we want, meaning that the majority of the backlight just gets wasted. So instead, scientists have come up with quantum dots. These are special structures that if they
quantum
are exposed
dot.
to light of a certain color, they themselves then emit their own light in another color. They don't really filter the light, but rather convert it into a new color, so there's very little waste here. And so in a quantum dot LCD screen, we add these layers of quantum dots over the backlight, which then go on to create super vibrant and bright colors. So by today, a high-end LCD can already have fantastic colors and brightness from its quantum
really
dots,
bright,
and also
damn.
very good control over its backlight with its mini LEDs, while in the future we fully expect to be able to pack millions of these LEDs in as a background. If you think about it, that means that LCDs have shedded most of their weaknesses and have moved a lot closer towards what we think of as the ideal display technologies, especially when you factor in that they are particularly easy to manufacture and really robust. And indeed,
Yay,
LCDs
easy
remain
to
the
manufacture.
most popular display type across many different categories like TVs and computers. Okay, but let's compare this with LCD's biggest competitor, OLED. This is a completely different display technology with its
I like
very
OLED
unique
still.
strengths and
Yeah,
weaknesses.
the
But over
saturation
time,
really
this
can't be
has
beat
started to evolve into
currently, at
becoming
least. And
The color
resistance.
contrast is really
output
good, yeah.
as LCDs
Yeah, the
kind of
worst thing about my
converge
Meta
into
Quest
fruition.
3 compared
So
to my
an OLED
Quest
screen is
1
by
and
placing
my
millions of
Rift.
tiny drops of
No
special organic
OLED.
material onto a surface, typically
Thank you
using
for
a
the
process
dream,
called vapor deposition.
funny water lady.
Each
Thank you
little
for the
drop
funny
gets
water,
sandwiched
funny water
between
lady.
the anode and the cathode, which allows us to run electricity through them
Electricity.
individually, which then causes them to light up. This is why we call them organic light emitting diodes, which form our subpixels, which we can all now individually control. Now, historically, there have been two major approaches to making an OLED display. One really suited for making smaller displays, and the other really suited for making large ones. For smaller devices, like smartphones, Samsung pioneered their technology that they called AMOLED, while for large screens, LG dominated the panel production, with their tech being called WOLED. And with time, each of these have been trying to move towards the middle in size, so that's why by now we're slowly starting to see OLED creeping into tablets, computers, etc. On smartphones, the actual diodes themselves directly produce either a red, a green, or a blue color. There are no backlights, no crystals, no color filters, not even polarizers in the latest generations, nothing. Just little dots that light up, meaning that this is an extremely straightforward display technology. In fact, if you take a look at a real close-up of one of my screens, you can see the individual little light dots actually doing their work. Now, you'll notice that they are arranged in a funny pattern, which has to do with your eyes being more sensitive to green colors than they are to the other two colors in this matrix, and to the blue material used in the screens actually wearing out quicker, for example. But the principle of the display still is just
the subpixel orientation is kind of it's definitely neat.
Great
they all look
smaller
different.
Displays. They are much harder to pull off on really large screens, which is why on large monitors and TVs, for example, we have more or less been stuck with LG's WOLED technology instead. And W here stands for white because the actual OLEDs themselves are white, and then color is created by putting an RGB filter over them. So you still have individually lit pixels, but we're now back to white light passing through a filter, and since LG panels have white light already, they actually also include a white subpixel in each arrangement as well to maximize the screen's brightness. So if you think about it,
where's the blue then?
WOLED, each pixel basically has its own white backlight. That means that the smartphone style OLED screens are technically more pure, I guess. But either way, the benefits of an OLED screen, regardless of which one you use, are actually pretty clear.
I've never seen this,
both
actually.
OLED types require way fewer layers than LCDs do, so they're both insanely thin. You can make them almost completely transparent, and they are, of course, also easily flexible. Pixels can individually be controlled and turned off, which saves power, creates contrast, and creates completely black blacks. And you get almost instant response times too, since you're just switching individual LEDs on and off. So that's great, but of course, just like LCDs, OLEDs had their pretty clear disadvantages as well, so they had to go through quite a lot of evolution to move towards becoming.
Is the problem mainly manufacturing?
That's part of it. Like economies of scale, you know how it is.
Comes from the fact that their LEDs are organic. And this doesn't mean that they're grown in soil with love and care and never see pesticide. It just means that they're made out of hydrocarbons, but either way, they can be pretty problematic. Specifically, the materials degrade very quickly if you expose them to air, for example, but also if you just show the same bright image on them for too long. And then they create what is called a burn-in, where an image permanently gets burned into your screen. Ratings.com made a fantastic long-term test with lots of OLED TVs and monitors, which I've linked to down in the description. You should really check it out if you're worried about burn-in. Modern devices will usually help avoid burn-in, for example, by shifting static content around a little bit, but the only real solution historically has been that the OLED devices just didn't let you make your screen super bright. Now, of course, in this video, we're talking about evolution, and indeed both Samsung and LG have found ways to make their OLED screens much brighter without actually putting any additional strain on the OLEDs themselves. For LG, we have the brand new MLA, or Micro Lens Array technology, which adds a grid of absolutely tiny little lenses over the LED panel that focuses all the light that would have otherwise scattered around the panel. Here's a macro shot of the actual monitor from the fantastic HD TV test video that I've linked to down in the description, and you can see an actual tiny grid over the subpixels, with LG claiming that they have something like 5,000 tiny lenses per pixel. This lens array boosts brightness by something like 60% and does so completely passively without having to push more electricity through the pixels, which is good for longevity and for keeping your electricity bill down too. This tech has already shipped in the latest generation LG TVs like the G3, for example, and should be available to other TV manufacturers using LG panels panels on the high end too. And as for Samsung TV panels, their solution was to basically take LG's OLED implementation, but to use quantum dots over them rather than color filters. So Samsung calls these their QD OLED TVs, and they look absolutely stunning as well. Like LG, Samsung also starts with a single colored organic LED, though theirs is actually blue instead of white. So for the blue subpixel, they just allow this light to pass through unhindered, but then for the other two, they add, you've guessed it, quantum dots to create a really bright red and green subpixels. So this way we can have our three primary colors, except each can individually be way brighter than those coming out of LG's OLED TVs, because Samsung's don't have to pass through color filters. I'd love to maybe someday see a QD OLED TV that also has a micro lens array technology for the ultimate OLED experience. But
put everything together.
Basically, over time, solved many of the biggest problems of OLED screens, which was that they couldn't get really, really bright without damaging the panel. So OLED technologies are also moving closer and closer to this kind of ultimate display form, the crab of displays.
The crab.
And actually, there's a lot to be excited for the future
of
OLED
crab
as well. And I'd like to highlight 4 upcoming new innovations here. First, according to the Elec, Samsung is planning to launch so-called tandem OLEDs in 2024, where they place 2 OLED layers above each other. This way, you can get double the brightness at peak and 4 times the lifespan of the OLEDs, because neither of the layers has to individually run as intensely during day-to-day operations, and the Elec claims that 2024 iPads might be getting these already. Wild. OLEDs over OLEDs. Second, a company called UDC claims that their blue PH OLED materials are coming to screens of Samsung, LG, and more by 2025 too. Here, they would replace the current material that is used in
we're going back to phosphorus, baby.
That should be 4 times as efficient at converting electricity that we put through it into light, leading to huge efficiency and brightness improvements. Wild. Third, we have a
They didn't even say what the hell it was.
Where the pixels are deposited straight onto a piece of silicon. This means that the whole control electronics basically becomes a chip on the back of the screen itself, and so you can make tiny and insanely high-resolution OLEDs that are perfect for high-end VR like Apple's Vision Pro headset and, for example, the Big Screen Beyond that are starting to use these screens. And fourth, Samsung is experimenting with replacing the blue organic LEDs completely in their QD OLED TVs with gallium nitride or GaN nanorods.
What the heck?
Organic and don't burn in at all, so we could theoretically get to all the upsides.
Yo, GaN is
downsides.
gallium nitride's popping off in technology lately.
OLEDs because there'd be nothing organic about the screen.
Seems like it's
anymore,
extremely useful.
Think about it. This is actually what
GaN's popping
evolution
off.
theory is getting
Love
at.
that.
OLED makers are trying
Shout out to my
hard to
homie
fix their
GaN.
burn-in issues.
Shout out to my homie GaN. They make the best chargers.
LCD makers are trying really hard to miniaturize their backlights and to make their colors pop more too. In the end, they're both trying to achieve pretty much the same result. A bright, colorful screen that is really robust long-term, where light is controlled at or really close to pixel level. And both camps are trying to get there faster and cheaper than the other. That is basically convergent evolution. But if you pardon my crab analogy just one more time, I promise you. If you think about it, LCDs and OLEDs are both kind of false crabs. They're starting at completely different positions that are not the final end result where they want to get to, and they're slowly moving towards a common goal.
Now I'm thinking about false crabs.
That is already doing all of the things that these two want to do as well. It's called micro LED, and it's arguably the truest manifestation of what we want the future of displays to be. Here, tiny little individual LEDs are stacked next to each other to form subpixels, and they are arranged into a grid to create one big display. Now, unlike on an OLED display where we use vapor deposition to kind of spray some dots onto a single surface, micro LEDs are made using millions of actual separate physical LEDs. You can literally divide these LEDs into smaller blocks and combine them into really big screens, and on paper at least, they have all the characteristics that you'd want. Like OLEDs, the pixels are individually lit, but like LCDs, there is no organic material, so the panels can get insanely bright without a
That must cost a fortune.
It's the perfect display. It's the true crap.
I mean, it all does, and then economy of scale start to kick in. It starts to get cheaper. They get better at making them. Kind of works out long term.
You can still clearly see alignment issues. The panels are insanely expensive. There's only a few of them, and the pixels are nowhere near small enough to create any reasonable display that is smaller than the size of your wall. Also, for now, companies are individually picking and placing millions of physical LEDs next to each other for each subpixel, which is just insane, time-consuming, and prone to a lot of errors. New manufacturing techniques are being invented as we speak, and experts say that maybe in 5 to 10 years we will get real mass-market micro-LED TVs as well. But still, this means that the race for
we might be able to do like photolithography like we do with
still there.
silicon.
And then this race being able to ramp up manufacturing and keeping error rates and
question
costs
mark? I don't know
low
anything
is just
about
as
electronics.
important to success as any supposed technological advantage. And it's also completely possible that yet unproven technologies like electroluminescent quantum dots, for example, or something completely different, will beat all of our current contenders anyway.
Neat video. That was good.
Neat.
This is a syringe full of water.
Oh. Let me see here. Oh, okay. This one's very simple. It's science, and it's from Vox. The title is very sus, though. Something weird happens when you keep squeezing. I don't want to know. I'm scared.
I've closed off this
find
end
out.
so it can't escape. And no matter how hard I push, nothing really happens. I can't compress it. Even if I put this inside an industrial hydraulic
Water's
press, a machine
incompressible,
that can push
right?
down with thousands of tons of force, the volume would only decrease by about 1%. But what if it was squeezed even harder? What if this water was subjected to the extreme pressures in the Earth's core?
Let's find out. Science.
Or inside the sun? What would happen to it? The answer is something really bizarre, something physicists are just starting to understand.
In many ways, this is really a new field.
We just don't fully know the rules yet.
It's an entirely new regime of matter.
To try and wrap our heads around these extreme pressures.
You can't give me a headline like that and me not pay
Physics as we
attention
know
to
it. Let's go on a journey straight down.
Real science time.
We'll start our trip up here on the surface at atmospheric pressure.
Love science.
How much pressure is that exactly? How does it compare to, say, the pressure of my phone on my palm? Well, the phone's weight, about 2 newtons, is spread out over about 100 square centimeters. That's how pressure is measured, a force distributed over an area. The pressure of the atmosphere, the hundreds of miles of air above me, pulled down by Earth's gravity, is 500 times stronger. That's like the pressure my phone would exert on my palm if Dwayne Johnson was balancing on top of it. But because the air is free to flow around, it's also pushing up with this same pressure. Every phone-sized patch of my body is getting pressed inward by the equivalent of the rock's weight. Of course, all the structures
This is a very
in my body
specific
are
thing.
pressing back, and I'm so used to this equilibrium that I don't even notice. Before we leave these familiar conditions, I'm going to grab a few things to take with us. A gram of hydrogen, a gram of sodium,
metal,
and a kilo of water. We know exactly how these substances behave on Earth's surface, but what happens when we start to squeeze?
Pressure.
Just 10 meters of seawater adds another whole atmosphere worth of pressure. 27 floors down, we pass the unassisted diving record, and just a little deeper, we hit 10 atmospheres. Now we're going deeper than the deepest scuba dive. There's a blobfish. They look like depressed jello on the surface. but down here,
Blobfish.
the pressure keeps them trim.
Little guy.
1 kilometer down, we reach 100 atmospheres, the kinds of pressures we got with that giant hydraulic press. Sperm whales can dive this deep, and their hinged rib cages fold inward so the bones won't snap. Here, the Titan submersible was crushed.
Bye.
Here's the destination they never reached. Somehow we're still passing fish.
It's amazing how
bottom of
we
the
can
Mariana
still
Trench,
continue to dunk on the Titan
1,000
submarine.
atmospheres. We're now up to the pressure of a phone with a herd of elephants balanced on top. Let's check in on the samples we brought. Our balloon of hydrogen gas has shrunk down to the size of a big marble, but both our solid sodium and liquid water haven't changed much. They're just barely compressed. Why is that? Well, the molecules of hydrogen had plenty of space between them, room to shrink, but the sodium and water were already tightly packed. Even the pressure down here can't overcome the electrostatic repulsion between molecules. It's nowhere near strong enough. But let's keep going. Every meter of rock piles on the pressure nearly 3 times faster than water. The temperature is rising too. As we leave the crust, we hit 10,000 atmospheres. In the mantle, temperatures shoot past 1,000 degrees Celsius, and some of the rock starts to melt. This is where mini diamonds form. Carbon is squeezed into a tight crystal. As we go deeper, into 100,000 atmospheres of pressure, the rock is compressed further, forced back into its solid form. Our sodium, meanwhile, has melted, and our bubble of hydrogen is liquid too, compressed into a little clear globule. The water is also changing. It's getting squashed so much it's forced to become a solid, but not the hexagonal crystals we get on the surface. Instead, it's a tighter cubic lattice. Scientists have found this variation of ice, Ice 7, trapped inside diamonds. As we get close to Earth's core, we pass 1 million atmospheres. That's the equivalent of an oil tanker balanced on a phone.
This is the threshold. We're now leaving the world that physicists fully understand.
This is where the external forces are about the same and starting to overwhelm the internal forces.
The crushing pressure is starting to overcome the electromagnetic forces holding water molecules apart and maintaining their shape.
I wonder what happens when shit breaks.
That comes out of being in these extreme conditions is pretty bizarre.
How do you study matter under conditions that normally only exist deep inside the Earth?
That was the point of creating the Center for Matter at Atomic Pressures. We're going to be doing all the fundamental physics to be able to understand matter under these really different kinds of conditions.
CMAP is headquartered at the University of Rochester, and they've got a tool that helps them create extreme pressures, the enormous Omega EP laser that fills this giant room. This is the facility's schedule. Scientists from around the world queue up for months just for a chance to blast a tiny sample of matter with a laser beam.
How do you feel in the run-up to this?
It's unbelievably nervous. You've spent a year of planning and crossing T's and dotting I's just to get to this point. The shot director gets on the intercom and he goes,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shot 39607 is now complete.
That was it. During that split second, million atmosphere pressures were momentarily created in the next room. The same pressures that exist deep within Earth.
I want to now know how the cool laser works, though.
Let's go through it again, just way slower.
I get to know how the laser works.
The laser beam is born in these machines down in the basement, and it's directed through a maze of lenses and devices that shape and monitor it. Bouncing through these massive tubes, it's infused with more power until it's as wide as this opening, about 45 centimeters across. Then it races towards the target chamber, which is hidden behind this tangle of equipment.
this is a visual representation of the target chamber.
The title's good.
Is right at the center of it. Those are really like a pinpoint on the tip of a pen, just absurdly small.
The target is a tiny inedible sandwich with a sample of whatever substance the researchers are interested in the middle. The laser
inedible sandwich?
Hit this first layer, which explodes into a superheated ionized gas.
And that plasma blows off of the surface like a rocket. That creates this buildup of pressure that forms a shock wave. And that shock wave really quickly travels through the material.
The last layer acts as a window, allowing the passage of electromagnetic rays generated during the experiment.
And then surrounding it, you have these spaces to
it's amazing how much you can do with lasers.
And other tools that we use to measure the various things that we're interested in.
If you look through this porthole, you can see a couple of these sensors getting moved into place. In 2017, researchers put a tiny bit of Ice 7 sandwiched between two diamonds in the target chamber. As the shock wave passed through it, pressure in the ice spiked above 2 million atmospheres and its atoms rearranged. Oxygens formed a tight lattice, while hydrogens were free to diffuse through it. It was Ice 18, 4 times denser than normal ice, able to conduct electricity almost as well as a metal.
What the fuck?
For a few billionths of a second, the laser had recreated conditions inside Earth. Speaking of, let's get back to our journey.
What the fuck? This is so cool.
Our glob of sodium is undergoing its own transformation. Under these pressures, scientists have seen it turn transparent.
What the hell?
What?
Now, what could account for this? Well, metals like sodium are shiny because they have a bunch of free-flowing electrons that can absorb and then retransmit light, which we see as a reflection.
It really is crazy when you really get down to it. You don't really think about how, right, everything's just tiny little spheres that, with energy, these tiny little particles that,
oh my god, the electricity.
Just how many of those particles
But that's not the end, because we can continue into pressures found inside large.
Yo, we're going deeper.
Tens of thousands of kilometers below Jupiter's surface.
We get to the cosmic horror creature that is Jupiter.
Becoming a shiny conductor of electricity. It's thought that a lot of Jupiter is made up of this metallic hydrogen.
What the
fuck? When you think of high energy density materials as
don't think about how if Jupiter didn't exist, Earth probably would have been destroyed countless times.
Shut up. Metals, and all these gases become solids.
And the universe holds higher pressures still. The center of Jupiter sees over 10 million atmospheres, just about the highest pressure that the Omega laser can create.
I think the term people use for Jupiter is like a giant gas giant guardian or some shit like that.
Oh wow, neat.
Basically, the idea is like every time a fucking comet would have hit Earth, it probably hits Jupiter.
Keep molecules apart.
Like, I think there was a comet that NASA actually, I don't know if they observed or if they have data on it or something, but basically it crashed into Jupiter and broke apart and shot out like hundreds of like small pieces of debris. And if any single one of those had hit Earth, Earth would have just been completely fucked. Jupiter's gravity just sucked them all back up.
This process on Earth and keep
and just everything falls into the fucking pit that is Jupiter.
And researchers
Jupiter's gravity
are using giant lasers, including Omega.
Oh, here we go.
This possibility.
Fusion power.
This is all
they're trying.
New
fusion power reference
to a sustainable fusion reaction that's economical.
Different elements and substances act and interact under different conditions.
Hopefully someday, but not yet.
It's the evolution of planets and their ability to foster life. They'll keep chipping away at those unknowns, one split-second experiment at a time.
I love that. That's really good. Audio jungle, audio jungle, audio jungle. Please God, no. Okay.
Just skip to the next song.
Ooh, yeah. Last video.
Or not song.
This is the last video.
Oh.
This one's gone. Fuck it. We're torturing AI. AI learns to push boulders up insane hills.
Is Dingus.
Dingus
is a deep reinforcement learning AI cube. Now,
hello, Dingus.
Dingus learns by exploring the world and seeing through a bunch of sensors, visualized on this screen as the flashing lines and spheres. Inspired by the ancient Greek tale of Sisyphus. Wait, no, Sisyphus. A king who was punished by cheating death by being forced to roll a massive boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down every time it nearly got to the top. The challenge is for Dingus to push a boulder uphill, mostly, across a series of 8 increasingly difficult levels, full of an assortment of difficult obstacles. Dingus is motivated by a reward function that gives him positive rewards.
Poor Sisyphus. Or poor Dingus.
And negative rewards for falling off the mountain
no.
or losing his boulder.
Aww.
Will Dingus Sisyphilus accomplish all of his Herculean trials, or will he simply wind up as a purple paste on the bottom of the mountain?
No.
There's only one way to find out. Let's get
Dingus.
And so, a new Dingus is born into the world. Clueless about everything, he begins to explore and interact with his environment to figure out what gets him good rewards. After fondling the boulder for a moment and moving it slightly closer to the goal, he will likely associate the reward he's getting with pushing that boulder ever closer to the end of the level. Then, the ball rolls off the stage. When the ball falls off of the stage, Dingus gets a negative reward, which should teach him to try and keep the ball safe, at least over time. Now we're going to speed things up for a bit here. It's going to take time for Dingus to learn the fundamental ways in which he can engage with his environment and what gets him good rewards, which you will see in Fast Forward. Oh, actually, let's stop for 1 second.
Oops.
I don't know how he did that. As we continue to watch Dingus, we see that he's still taking a while to figure out that he needs to continue to push the boulder. Consider him basically like a baby that doesn't even know how to interact with his environment properly. It will take him a while
He's
to
trying.
He can continue to push something up a hill.
Come on, Dingus.
After a few more tries, we get this run. Where Dingus finally realizes he needs to continue to push the boulder suddenly getting afraid of it or something. I'm not sure. He then begins to seemingly panic, realizing that he needs his ball, but it is far too gone at this point. And then finally, we have this one.
We watched an AI have a panic attack. He did it!
Honestly, Dingus, not bad. Considering he had to not just figure out how to solve this level, but also how to even get rewards and move the boulder properly, that's a pretty good pace of learning. But there was absolutely no obstacles to him in this first level.
Good job,
The later
Dingus.
ones have many more challenges to overcome. Dingus will have to figure out that other boulders are not good and that he needs to avoid them before he has any chance of succeeding. However, his first attempt actually goes extremely well, getting pretty close to the top before the ball is finally knocked out of his hand.
Oh, there it goes.
His second attempt honestly goes way more amusingly. Seemingly out of a desperate attempt to dodge that first boulder, he goes way too wide.
Oh no. No!
Alright then, Dingus. What about this one? Have you learned enough to make it through?
Come on, Dingus. No!
Apparently not. He lost the ball in the exact same way as before and catches the boulder for his troubles. At this point, it's not quite clear if he actually knows he needs to avoid the boulders. What about this run?
Ooh, he's dodging. He's dodging.
He's clearly more actively dodging them now. A late swerve nearly costs him everything, but he still manages to get through to the end.
Yay!
Finished, Dingus. Our next level introduces a new obstacle for Dingus. Slopes and drops. Dingus has to learn how to account for falling off an edge, as well as dealing with different angled slopes. So far, he's only ever had to push a boulder directly uphill. Now they can also have slants. I'm curious to see how long it takes to learn how to accommodate for these.
Oh my god, he was so close.
It's honestly pretty hard to tell if he's...
I love the face on these things.
Just kind of...
But then suddenly, we get a...
Like, I'm aware of my surroundings.
Nope. Sort of aware. Oh my god.
But what do you know? That didn't take long at all.
He did it.
But they really start ramping up the difficulty from now on.
All right, what's the next
really
level?
requires that Dingus becomes a lot better with his dexterity.
Ooh.
Much smaller paths that he needs
Also
to
just
push this ball through.
dinking the ball, and I'm like,
At the
oh, it's
start,
gone.
He doesn't even seem to really know how to collect the ball that isn't right in the center of the stage. That's an interesting thing to uncover. You never know what slight changes might trip up an AI. This is the first one where he figures out how to actually pick up the ball. Honestly, not too bad, Dingus.
Nope.
With each new run now, we can see successive improvements. He seems to be learning this level very quickly, much quicker than I honestly thought he would. Has he finally learned?
It's like watching animals. It's great. Like very primitive animals just kind of doing their thing. No! Aww.
But he got an amazing spin on this fall. Alright then, what about one more shot, Dingus?
I think he can do it. Go, Dingus, go. Go, Dingus, go. Yay!
Okay, he did that one as well. And in pretty fast time. But this is the end of what I'd call the easy levels. Everything from this point on is much harder. Level 5 might seem deceptively simple, but it actually forces Dingus to learn something that he's never had to do before.
Oh my god, to wait.
Wait. The rate at which these boulders fall down makes it impossible to weave between them without actually pausing. This is something Dingus has never had to do before. He's always just been able to go at full speed pushing the boulder.
Oh.
Although that being said, in the very next run, he obviously learns to wait for a little bit.
Oh. That was trying to get it past it, I think. Nope.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
We can see Dingus is having a lot of trouble ever getting back to that second platform. Finally, we get another shot at it.
Ooh, okay. I don't think he's really waiting. I think he's like having the ball push against him. Oh.
Yeah, not quite. Now I'm going to pause the action one last time to explain just one other thing. The Dingus you are watching is not the only Dingus training at this time. There are, in fact, 54 other Dinguses training in the exact same level at the exact same time, all feeding their experiences and learning into the one model at the same time. This accelerates the learning process in basically a linear fashion, making the training 54 times faster, which is good, because 54 times slower would be super boring. Dingus just keeps trying, old Sisyphus style. But unfortunately,
this is also why it takes
much
forever to
progress.
train
He's always
models
getting stuck at the
to
exact
be
same point.
maybe accurate, at least sometimes.
This is an interesting one.
This is completely off topic, but I need your opinion on this.
Sure.
You are a known appreciator of the robot.
Yeah.
You are also a known appreciator of the women.
Yes.
Oh, hey, there's a raid. Let me
Azra,
shout that person out.
hey! No, thank you. Thank you for the raid. We're watching videos and learning. We're cheering about a little cute boy named... I keep calling him Sisyphus, and that's not his name. His name is Dingus, and he has a Sisyphean task.
He loses his ball, and then he's just...
But I was gonna
ask this is the good type of AI.
Do you know Igus from the Persona?
Yes, I know of Igus.
Where does Igus rank on the tier of female robot?
What's the top tier and what's the bottom tier?
For you, I would assume Dorothy is top tier. Is that an accurate assessment?
I guess so.
For bottom tier, I would assume it is... I don't know, the fucking robot AI that is at the Sphere in Las Vegas, or the robot thing that is shown off at CES.
I'd say slightly below Dorothy.
Okay.
He still tries to break
Is it because they both have guns in their fingers?
That's where she was referenced from, you silly.
Oh, I didn't realize Dorothy was referencing Igus.
Yeah, that's why she has the headband too.
Oh,
that's her design.
I figured that was just a coincidence because I don't feel like either of those elements are specific to Igus. Like Igus has them in their defining parts, but they're not.
Dorothy from Valhalla was inspired by Igus slash Labras from Persona 3. And Dorothy R. Wainwright from Big
Labras isn't from Persona 3.
Okay.
Arena Ultimate.
Okay, fine. I meant the 3. Okay, I meant just 3 then.
There is another robot girl that is in Persona 3, P3A, in the Answer story, and no one remembers her because the answer is bad.
I've been always saying it as Dorothy Wainwright. Am I wrong?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Dorothy
Hayes. Rebecca Dorothy Willow Graham. According to the Wikipedias, or the Valhalla fandom wiki.
This is what I meant.
That was so crazy clean. I did not expect Dingus to figure this level out so quickly. Now there are only 2 remaining levels.
Who's Dorothy Olivia?
Unconvinced that Dingus did actually figure out how to dodge boulders.
What am I thinking about?
New level. Wait, did Dingus just get knocked upside down?
Oh, Olivia is she thinking? Is that person thinking of
more aggressive slope than any other level in the game, which means his progress will be incredibly slow.
Olivia Lowe is the surname of Daniel and Isaac Asimov's Robots and Foundation series. Oh, okay. I might need to ask the writer if I fucked up or something.
Yep.
Did you guys know I know the writer?
Like Dingus doesn't really know how to dodge.
Yes.
We're Moots on Twitter.
Metis is the fucking for answer robot. Igus's sister.
He's upside down again.
Oh, okay.
Born in the far off future year of 2010.
Dingus is getting a lot better at this course. His big issue is just being too slow.
Is that the best Harvey Birdman joke?
Probably. Far off year of 1998.
No, for them it was
in the far off year of the year 2000.
Of 2002, and then he looks at the calendar and it says 04.
He's like, all hiv. Wow. Oh God.
And then, of course, points out the funny fact that the Jetsons thought we'd have flying cars and pills for food, but didn't predict cell phones.
And with that, there's only 1 level left.
Oh no.
But it is by far the hardest level.
Hard level for Dingus.
I love that we're just watching a robot play kind of Super Monkey Ball.
A little bit, yeah.
Or a equivalent of some Flash game I probably played like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually kind of hard.
I specifically designed this one to be much harder than all the others. And so begins Dingus's hardest challenge.
Can he do it? Oh. You need to have high precision for this. Oh. Like I said, you need to have high precision for this. Oh. Make Dingus play an egg-like. I want to say that this might be an egg-like. This seems like an egg-like. It's adorable, though. Come on. Can he do it? Can he do it? Can he do it? Can he? Oh. We are watching a very simple box struggle. Truly, he represents all of us. Not to mention he has a timer, too. That's pretty hard. Come on, Dingus. Come on, no! He can do it. Oh. Oh, wait, no, I think he fell. Look at his little micro movements. I love the little micro movements he's doing to correct himself. That's a great detail. Come on. Oh, oh no! Just short. Dingus, 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 Dingus. Come on, come on. I believe in you. I believe in you, little piece of Unity code. I did it.
He did it. The little cube figured it out.
He did it again. He could do it.
These videos take a long time to make.
Yay!
But it's always
I love
really
him.
fun to see the end result. I hope you enjoyed what you watched. Now you go have a great day.
I did enjoy that I watched it, Mr.
You know, Louis,
Dingus.
you can actually move those toys out of the bed.
Yo, dog, let's go. Bonus dog.
No?
Bonus
You're
dog.
okay with it like this, I guess.
I love this.
So everyone for all of time has been giving AI legs and teaching them to run. Do you know what they're not doing? They're not also giving them a cannon.
Pew.
Oh, Dingus, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, he's
I
trying.
want to play soccer.
I nearly forgot you were a box once. I was a box.
How are you missing?
I relate.
How are you missing?
A rare cube Alma.
Yeah, cube.
You've
I think
been cube. You've been a error texture because you
I've been a
install
cube
CS
and I've
source.
been an I've been a cube. I've been an error texture.
What's going on,
I wonder what it can be next.
What is with all the people that refuse? Actually, some guy, Richter Overtime, made a video that was kind of a good point, which was, why is CS Source just not free?
Why is CS Source like the requirement?
Also, he mentioned that apparently at one point there was a bundle where you could get Gary's mod and CS Source, and they no longer do that.
That's actually really weird now that you mention it. Oh, also, there were new robots this year for the opening tournament. I want to highlight like at least one of them.
You know what would be fascinating?
This guy who is terrifying, actually.
Odin is a very unique robot.
You know what would be extremely fascinating to know that we'll probably never know?
What?
What is the percentage of people who own CS Source and have only used it and installed it for the purposes of playing Gary's mod and have never played a single match of CS Source?
Fascinating.
It's got to be a sizable percentage, not a definitely like double-digit percentage of the user base. But when we play in CS Source,
I still want your opinion on Odin right now.
It's got an 18 gauge finish nailer.
I am a fan of the nail gun in Quake and in real life.
It's just a box with a nail
gun. Folks asking if they can do a nail gun. Can they do a ram set? There it is. You're allowed. You're allowed.
It doesn't shoot fast enough.
You can do it. Make it effective.
I mean, it's hitting plastic.
It seems useful. So
It seems like a fun idea.
why does he look like the fucking skull dude from the Twitch pre-show?
Why wouldn't you? It's fun.
Mr. Meatface or whatever the fuck he was called. Alma, do you know about the Twitch pre-show?
I don't think I want to know anymore. I'm scared.
It's good. It's good. It's like it was like an somewhat ad-libbed sketch comedy thing that Twitch would do during and around E3 after the Devolver presentation.
That's the power of friendship, yes.
Included mascot wrestling and painting for the Save the Motherfucking Children Foundation.
I like that.
Wrong with that power of friendship member right there.
Drill.
Looking to take advantage with some heavy
drill.
There he is, heavy pecking. Kokoto
he did it.
Yet another fight with the power of friendship. Successfully drilling through, and all of the magic smoke is leaking out of misdirected aggression.
I love watching these tiny robots fight. It's just a drone motor with a drill on it, and it died. Okay, we're a little bit later than usual, so let's get out of here. Yeah. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. I very much appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for the raids. You guys are wonderful. This is the end of this week's stream schedule, so I will post a new one Monday. What in the world should I be doing like next week? It's the end of January. We're going into February. If I can get my NES Classic hacked and playing Super Metroid or maybe regular Metroid,
it's literally on the fucking Switch emulator that's like built in as part of the Switch online subscription. You don't need to mod anything if you don't want.
Oh, it's on the thing that I have? Okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other games that I'm just like I just don't know if they're good to play. I want to play a bunch more rhythm games. I haven't played a bunch of rhythm games in a while, so I want to kind of get back on that, you know?
Alma reinstalls DJ Max.
I've never uninstalled it. What you talking about?
I was making a joke.
Exactly.
You never uninstalled it. Why haven't you streamed it in like a year?
Because I have space to store the games. Why do I need to uninstall the game?
I'm not saying you need to. I'm saying why haven't you used it?
True.
Like why haven't you streamed it?
I don't know. I just haven't. Okay. Let's see here. Is there anybody we could send you over to in the meantime? Who we got? Ooh, there's a lot. Oh, people around. Okay. You know what? Yeah. We're gonna send you guys over to a bun. Their name is Benui, named Usagi Kaede. They're very nice. Be nice, of course. All right, and they're just chilling out, making some custom Magic the Gathering cards. That's cute. Make sure you guys say before you go, and have a good rest of your evening. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. All right. I can't think of other words that rhyme.
Did I show you the Crypto Luigi ad?
The what?
Yeah, I'll show you later.